Hello and welcome to Game 2 of the MCU Premier Division T20 competition. You're all very welcome along. It is County Galway versus Cork Harlequins live from Farmers Cross. Hope you are all enjoying your Sunday afternoon wherever you are. But here in Farmers Cross it's time for cricket. News from the toss was that County Galway won it and that they will be batting first, so Cork Harlequins will be in the field. This is the second game of two. County Galway were in Curraheen to take on UCC earlier on in the afternoon. They beat them by 77 runs, scoring 154 in their first innings and bowling out UCC by 77 runs, winning that game by 77 runs. So, winning the toss in that game and electing to bat, they've done the exact same up here. It seems to be their winning formula. It's their first win was this morning. Of course, they lost their first game against Limerick Cricket Club, so they'll be looking to go 2-1 on the T20 campaign to get themselves up the table. And for Cork Harlequins, they beat Limerick Cricket Club by 20 runs just a moment ago. Batting first, they scored 181. In reply, Limerick scored 161. So should be a good game on our hands here. It is a lovely day here at Farmers Cross. There's not a cloud in the sky. Sun balming down on the outfield. This pitch is looking good. It played well earlier on, yielding 180 runs in the first innings, 160 runs in the second innings. The square is looking very well too. It's very difficult to tell between the outfield and the square, which means there's green grass growing out there, which is great for the middle of July. The team photos are just being taken then. Cork Harlequins ready to take the field. The opening batters for County Galway are also ready to go, and I'm delighted that alongside me is our broadcast director and co-commentator for today's game. It's Joe Mahoney. Hey Joe.
Hello, Rodders. How are you doing?
I'm very good, Joe. It's great to have you alongside.
Thank you very much. I enjoyed the last game. It went down to the wire. Except Harlequins kind of squeezed Limerick in the end.
Yeah, it was a very close game. I thought very fine margins decided it in the end. And no doubt this is going to be a close game as well. So the first ball is due to go down in around 3 minutes' time. However, down in the Mardyke there is another game going on. And well, it looks like this one is going to be close as well. County Kerry batting first, scoring 124 for the loss of 6 wickets. And in reply, Cork County are 103 for the loss of 2 wickets off 16 overs, which means Cork County require 22 off 24 deliveries.
And it looks like that man again, Siddiqui, is in the runs, like last weekend. 35 off 39 with 4 fours. Hassett Ross Doherty being stumped by Pathan off the bowling of Yaqub Ali, and Cormac Hassett also being stumped off Pathan, bowled by Yaqub Ali for well worked 59.
That's Imran.
Imran Pathan?
No, just Imran.
So Benji Morris is also at the strike at the moment. So currently the table as it stands after Quins' win, Cork Harlequins have played 4-1-2, have 43 points and a percentage rate of 86. Cork County are second currently, exclude the game that they're playing at the moment because we don't know what's going to happen. They're on 4 with 1 win on 58%. County Kerry have 54%. Galway have 52%. And Limerick are 46%. So only one winner out of this league goes through to the All-Ireland T20 semi-finals. And it could come down to this game, Rodders.
Absolutely. It's the game. It's the competition people want to win. Of course, the winner of this match gets to take on the winner of the Alan Murray T20 competition above in Leinster. All the big Leinster sides are involved in that one. Of course, last year it was Cork Harlequins represented Munster. It was Merrion Cricket Club who represented Leinster. Cork Harlequins won that game to go on to the final. Of course, they were beaten by Brigade of the Northwest Cricket Union. They beat Carrickfergus of the Northern Cricket Union in their semi-final. So lots to play for here.
And striding out to the crease is Tom Mahon. And Sam.
So it looks like it'll be as the two batters decide which end they're going to go at. Of course, Cork Harlequins need to figure out what end they're going to open up from. We think it's going to be Senan Jones from the city end of the ground. And while the players and umpires are getting themselves sorted, a massive thank you to AJ Harry of Limerick Cricket Club for joining us in the commentary position. He was absolutely outstanding and gave a great account of himself, a great account of his team, and hopefully we'll have AJ back on the mics very soon. Who's out there, Joe?
So it's Mohammed Sayan who will be on the striker's end, and the non-striker is Tom Mahon.
So it looks like a left hand to start off with for County Galway. They'll be buoyant by their victory earlier on in the day against UCC. But a different kettle of fish here up in Farmers Cross. They've got, well, I suppose the biggest difference, Joe, is that they have a cut strip down here up here at Farmers Cross as opposed to the mat down below in Curraheen.
And different paces as well, Rodders, that the batsman will face here.
So it will be Senan then to open up the bowling for Cork Harlequins. He'll be left arm over the wicket from the city end of the ground. Looks like Cork Harlequins will start off with a slip. Plenty of encouragement for the bowler. The umpires is Archie and Ger O'Sullivan. So looks like we're all set to go then. Sayan for County Galway to face up to Senan Jones for game 2. Here we go. And played to extra cover. A run-out attempt would have been gone by a country mile, Joe.
That was very cheeky of Tom. I think at this stage he just needs to take his time instead of trying to go for a quick single when there was no single there.
It was Brandon doing the fielding there at extra cover. Slip waiting. Pulled away and fielded there at mid-wicket by Esmatullah. And an aggressive start here from Sayan, Joe.
I think they need to be, especially in the power play, Rodders. We saw earlier on that Limerick hit, I think, about 40 odd off the power play, so they should be looking at 6s or 7s at least.
Drilled straight at the fielder. That was a hand stinger there. That was Ryan Joyce at mid-off. So lots of encouragement out there for the bowler.
The pitch is pretty flat and it should be a good day to bat on.
Well, the batter dancing around his crease there and will find the gap. Will get off strike. That's 2 runs and Galway are off the mark.
What's noticeable about those runs there was that it actually held up in the grass for the first time, which shows that the grass has been growing since early morning in the heat. So this will be interesting that you'll have to push a bit harder this time round. We
don't have Met Erin here today, however. It is pretty close to 20 degrees as that's a full toss flicked into the leg side. They'll come back for 2, a comfortable 2. Skipper Matt Brewster doing the fielding out there on the fence. So good intent being shown here first up by Sayan, the opening batter for County Galway. We'll keep you updated on that County Kerry Cork County game, which is coming to a conclusion down below at the Mardyke, as that's short. And there's a man waiting for it. That's Devon Joyce at the deep square boundary. Keeps the batters to 1. That's the end of the over. And after the first over, it is 5 without loss.
A good start by both teams, I think. Quins will be happy that there were no boundary balls yet. Galway will be happy that they they have 5 on the board without the loss of a wicket, which kind of tends to happen in the first 1 or 2 overs.
Absolutely, it's very important to get off to a good start, and if not a good start, then a steady start. So, single last ball means Cyan is going to keep strike. So you have an update on the County Kerry Cork County game, Joe?
I do, and it's actually quite interesting. Cork County require 14 runs off 12 balls. We spoke about Siddiqui earlier. He's still there, 39 off 44. And it looks that Kashif and Said Tabish, both excellent bowlers, will be bowling the last few overs. Now, if you look at their run rate, runs per over, they're both at roughly 7s, and that is what Cork County need.
Adam Hickey then, from the clubhouse end, as you were from the first game. He's a comfortable opening the bowling as Adam in the power play. And Cyan is in his sights. Dot ball, first ball.
Oh.
And it's well fielded there from the cover point fielder. That's Kieran getting a mitt on that, saving a certain boundary, Joe.
Absolutely. He dived to his left, full length. It was a fantastic save.
Because that ball was travelling, wasn't it?
It was.
That'll bring Tom on strike for the first time. And looks like there will be a change of field. The long on fielder will drop back. That's Ryan over to our left hand side, and also deep square is his brother Devon. So Tom gets to look at his first delivery of the day. Played into the offside for no run. So lots of noise being made out there by the Quins fielders.
Their tails are up after the win in the last game, Rodders.
And that's a big shot. Falls short of the fielder. In comes the throw. Well, we'll have to look at that back, Joe. A lot of oohs and ahs from the fielders again. Thank you all so much for joining in here on the Munster Cricket Union YouTube channel as we watch back this run-out attempt. And he was safely home, I think.
He was indeed.
Cyan back on strike. Kieran O'Reilly doing the fielding.
It's good to see that he's trying to show a bit of intent, trying to look to get off strike straight away.
Absolutely being positive in defence is a very important skill in this form of the game. And tight bowling here from Adam. A good tight line from him.
He seems to struggle sometimes against left-handers, but is more comfortable against the right-hand batsman. And his line is a bit better than his opening spell in the Limerick match, which was a bit wayward.
2 overs done, 7 without loss then. Bit of a subdued start so far.
It's quite funny compared to the last game, isn't it?
It's our... So yes, absolutely, Joe. A bit of a subdued atmosphere. A lot of the spectators who were here earlier on have opted to head away.
I think they're gone to the pharmacy to get some aloe vera after being burnt on top of the roof. They look like lobsters.
A good vantage point, but absolutely the burn. We're very fortunate to be under this gazebo. As Senan has the ball in his hand and is at the top of his mark for his second over. And a good looking delivery. Tom keeps it out.
He seems to be taking a bit of pace off. Maybe conserving energy for later on. But he's not bowling as quick as he was before.
Noticeable the keeper is up to the stumps as well.
Absolutely.
As Tom Mahon looks round. Plays that down the ground to the long on fielder. That's Ryan back there with the floppy cap.
Nice looking shot that, Rodders. He stood tall and Just put it to the right of Senan.
Interesting, the right-hand, left-hand combination for County Galway. Something that the Quins bowler struggled with a touch in the previous match.
They did.
Be interesting to see how they do here. Guided away, well stopped though at short third man. That's Kieran again. The ball is following him, Joe.
The ball is following him, but I like the way Cyan, he's trying to just guide it down. It's a low risk shot.
A wonderful day for cricket. Sun is shining, very little wind. As that tight line being maintained from Senan Jones, Cyan can only push that ball to the fielder for no run.
He's bowling very, very well, Senan.
So again, that encouragement continues. Here comes Senan again, left arm over the wicket. It's up in the air. It's a chance.
Oh!
And it's bowling, dropped, a run-out opportunity. It's all happening here. The ball fell into space and Siam found himself down the wrong end. The throw came in, missed the stumps. A calamity of errors there, Joe.
Bit of a comedy show there going on. 3-4 players came together. Senan did call for it and had to go backwards to try and take the ball, but unfortunately he didn't get his hand to it.
It was one of those ones. There were three of them who were stargazing, trying to pick that ball out, and in the end, no one did. So
Senan may have hurt his back here. He's holding.
So a reprieve there for Cyan as he's back on strike. Gets a full toss.
Yeah, he's hurt his back.
And puts it away for 4. So it always happens. A catch goes begging and the very next delivery disappears for 4 runs. The first boundary of the afternoon, Joe.
A welcomed boundary by Galway. I feel that they need to pick up their run rate quite substantially over the next 3 overs and have at least 30-40 on the off the power play. That might happen, but the bowling has been pretty tight at the moment.
So 12 then, without loss off 3 overs. Adam to continue from this clubhouse end of the ground.
And it looks like Cork County.
So this is just going back to the match down in the Mardyke. Joe, you have news for us?
Yes. That 19th over was really well done. 2-1-1-1-1, a wide and 6 runs. And they're levels at the moment. But as I speak, Cork County have won by 8 wickets. So congratulations to them. There's 1 short here.
So that was 3 runs. Oh, was 1 called short, Joe?
Correct.
So it's only, they ran 3, but they only got 2. So Cyan then will take strike. A good looking shot there from Tom. And blocked into the onside. So that's a dot ball. Adam continues. A reverse sweep from the batter. Quite an extravagant shot. I think a good option, trying to make something happen.
Ashel is feeling the pressure. We've been just told that it's not.
So it's Arshel. Arshel down the track. Stumping opportunity not given, so
Good glove work there.
but the batter got back in time. Fair play to him. Normally when that happens, the batter is caught short of his ground. Not on this occasion though. So 4 dots in this over. The batter feeling the pressure. Of course, in the power play, only 2 men outside the 30-yard circle. Oh, he makes contact with that delivery. And the chase is on, but it will beat the fielder. That's 4 runs to him. That's the end of the over. 14 without loss after 4 overs. So, looks like Tom is going to get a new set of shoes. Wasn't happy with his original set of shoes, so he's called for the other pair. And we're going to have a change of shoes then. So it looks like Senin will continue. So it looks like Tom has got the correct footwear on and we're ready to go again. Senin then to continue. This will be his 3rd over. Still in the power play, remember. That's cut away from Tom. Fielded at backward point by Devon. So a good looking shot there from Tom. Just couldn't find the gap. 18 without loss of just 1 ball into the 5th over. So Ashhill 14 off 19 with 2 boundaries, and Tom with 4 off 6 with no boundaries to him yet. A stumping shout. Not out given. Well, the wicketkeeper seemed pretty confident, but Joe O'Sullivan didn't think so. Well, looking back on the replay, his foot...
That was very, very close.
But I think he did get his foot down in time. So pressure on the batters here. A lot of dot balls being bowled by Cork Harlequins. That's a good looking shot, but a run out attempt. Wayward throw, which didn't hit the stumps. Well backed there. But good running there from Ashhill and Tom. Good understanding between the two. And that'll bring Ashhill back on strike.
Very good running there, Rodders, but they are taking a few risks that they don't really need to currently.
So just trying to get the ball through the field at the moment. They're finding it difficult. Here comes Sennan again. Fourth ball of the over.
It's a nice looking shot.
That's a massive shot. And it's out of here.
That's into the garden next door.
6 runs for Ashhill. He's been threatening to do that for a while. The ball has disappeared out of the ground. And it's time to start knocking on the neighbours' doors, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. See, can we get our ball back?
I think they are going to go in next door.
A wonderful shot there from Ashhill.
Beautiful looking shot. And well, again, that's his first 6 of the afternoon, and he's 20 off 20. No time now.
So we have a delay then. The ball having disappeared into the neighbour's garden. We're not the only ground who has similar issues. There are other grounds the length and breadth of the country where the ball does disappear into the neighbour's back garden. So
I think nearly every ground at this stage has that issue. Apart from the rural grounds like in Clonmel and Limerick Blasters up there in Lisrona. But yes, like
and Croker's Oval.
Croker's
as well.
Over, yeah.
Yeah. So, well, I think actually, Joe, they have gone into the neighbour's house and retrieved that ball. So fair play to them. So while the neighbours are offering the players a cup of tea, we're going to remind you of how Ireland are getting on. Of course, you can have the Ireland game on one screen, Galway versus Cork Harlequins on the other. Ireland have finished 300 for the loss of 9 wickets. Brilliant from them. Top scorer Harry Tector, 113 off 117. In reply, New Zealand in a spot of bother, 19 for the loss of 2 wickets. Finn Allen is gone, bowled Mark Adair, caught Andy McBride, and Will Young bowled Craig Young, caught Lorcan Tucker, Martin Guptill, and I think Tom Latham are at the middle now above in Malahide. So really good there from Ireland.
That is a newish team from New Zealand, looks like. Finn Allen, he's played 1 or 2 internationals, I think, especially T20s.
Good comeback there from Sennan Jones, bowling that 4th, 5th stump and beating the outside edge of Ashhill. So that was the maximum that goal we needed to kickstart the innings. But just going back to that Ireland match, brilliant to see us making big scores, and hopefully we can consistently do that.
The wickets in Malahide are very good at the moment, and we saw that in the second T20 against India. Some big scores there. I think it was 220, 230 that India put up, and Ireland nearly reached that total. So I'm not surprised. We're actually probably a better one-day side than a T20 side. But it's just good to see the young lads coming through, that we're not relying on the top order all the time.
26 then for the loss of no wicket. 5 overs done. Ashhill taking a single off the last delivery to keep strike. Looks like Adam is going to continue. This is the last over of the power play. So once 6 overs are done, the umpire will wave their hand like a windmill, which will mean that 5 fielders can disappear beyond the 30-yard circle. Of course, remember to subscribe to the channel so that you can follow all the matches around the Munster Cricket Union circuit as Ashhill gets off strike first ball. Nicely tucked around the corner from him. That'll bring Tom back on to strike Joe.
Yeah, Rodders. The next game is the Premier League match between Cork Harlequins and Cork County next Sunday, and then we're into the cup finals.
The business end of the season. That's a big shot.
Wow!
And it's going to disappear.
Where did that come from?
Out of the ground. Exit stage left. 6 runs.
That was a very unusual shot. He just caught hold of it, and it was almost like he dragged it.
It is the shorter boundary in this direction. And the instructions from the fielders telling the searchers where to go. So they're a bit pessimistic about the chances of retrieving this ball. But we'll keep our hopes up. Cricket balls do tend to be swallowed up around this ground. Lots of high grass, lots of divots and trees and fields and lots of terrain that are very conducive to losing cricket balls, including ditches and hedges and the top of clubhouses. We actually have lost a ball on top of the clubhouse before, Joe.
Really?
Yeah, we have. Yeah,
I've not heard that one.
It was a thirds team match, I think, and I won't mention his name, who lost it, but
I'll go on to the crack.
So
Quentin Klassen, was it?
That's the one.
I'll call you out, Quentin.
So there's 4 Quins players trying to find the ball. Tom Mahon just stood and admired it, as he should do. It was a wonderful stroke from him.
They have it.
And they have it. So, should have been a bit more optimistic about finding that ball. So a good shot then, a bit of a break for these two. Sometimes it can be a bit difficult for batsmen for when the ball flies away to the fence, and because there's no capacity crowd here at Farmers Cross, there's no spectators to throw it back. So we're back at it then. Adam Hickey, Tom Mahon with a brilliant stroke. He's going to take strike again. And very next ball, he's chipped it straight to the fielder. Tom Mahon will be disgusted with himself. 6, and then chips it to Kieran O'Reilly at extra cover, and that's the first wicket down with 33 runs on the board. Joe?
I believe that was to the captain himself, actually, who took that wicket. Matty Brewster.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Tom threw away his wicket there. He didn't need to just chip it. I think he got a rush of blood to the head.
He was batting very, very well. He batted very well today, but unfortunately he has to go. So 2 left-handers at the crease then. Adam to continue. So lots of encouragement. Last couple of deliveries of the power play. There's a long off and a deep square back. Interesting. The third man and short fine legger being kept inside the circle. It's Alan Joseph who's come to the crease. He gets off strike first ball. Well run there by Alish. So the 2 lefties out in the middle for Galway. In there. And that's cut away. Well stopped by the point fielder. That's Kieran O'Reilly. Ball's been following Kieran today in the field. So 1 ball to go then in the power play. 35 for the loss of 1 wicket. And that's how it will remain. 6 overs done, 35 for 1. Even Stevens, Joe, coming out of the first power play.
I think both teams will be quite happy. Galway have recovered somewhat to reach 35 off their 6. And I did say earlier on that the average was roughly about 35-40 in the power play. So with the loss of 1 wicket, they must be delighted. And for Quins, at least it didn't get away like last time, where Arslan Siam was just walloping the ball for 4s and 6s.
So it looks like Senan then will have 1 over left in his pocket. If needed, it will be Matty Brewster, who's going to be introduced to the bowling crease, bowling right arm over.
Matty's first spell in the first game today wasn't really good. He gave away at least 20-30 runs, so he'll be hoping to bowl a bit tighter this time. Now in his second spell, he bowled more variable balls, so it'll be interesting to see if he'll bowl short or full length balls to the batsman.
So the power play has been signalled. There is a third man, a fine leg, a deep square, deep point and a long off in position. So all 5 fielders have been dispatched to the boundary. And that's a single there for Ashel. A single for Ashel. That'll bring Alan Joseph back on strike. Joe, it's for someone who hasn't watched cricket, we kind of said it with AJ there earlier on in the day. The whole idea of spreading the field is to try and defend, is a defensive field because you're trying to defend the boundary. You're trying to prevent the ball from going over the boundary, which is the tactic Cork Harlequins are using.
Absolutely, but also as well is that there's always going to be a few loose balls. Remember, this is an amateur sport, so you're not going to bowl 6 out of 6 on the spot all the time. So where they've positioned it, a fine leg and deep backward square, I think it's those type of balls that Matty bowls down leg that normally would go for a boundary, so they're trying to stop that.
Good single there from Ashel. Feeling the heat out there, Alan Joseph has his gloves off while he's at the non-striker's end. Plenty of encouragement there. Alan on strike. Played it through the offside. Looking for 2. And they will make it comfortably. Jack Boss doing the fielding out on the deep point fence. So it's interesting. So it's interesting here, Joe, as we'll come back to that point. Here comes Matt again, down the leg side, well taken by Shivam.
That's the type of ball that that's why the 2 fielders are out for Matty.
Lots of noise being made out there. 2 deliveries to go. It's 41 for 1. County Galway just dropped.
Well run.
And very well run.
They're playing a sensible game now, these 2 batsmen. Picking off the singles. It's nearly a run a ball in this over. They don't need to push it too hard. Sorry.
And looking for the wide, won't get it, and that's a dot ball to finish. So the score is 42 for the loss of 1 wicket. 7 overs gone in the first innings. Of course, just in kind of looking forward, Joe, County Galway will be looking for a score of around 150, 160, as that is the score that Limerick got in reply. Anything below that, and they'll feel as though they've left runs out there today.
Yeah, Rodders, I was thinking of the 170, 180 mark.
Yeah.
I think you have to go for the higher total rather than the lower total. But then again, as you can see, the ground, it's slowed up as the grass has been growing during the afternoon. It's actually true that it does when it grows in the heat, and it does slow up. So you could be right. 160 might be a winning target or winning score here.
Change of bowling then, but the same action is going to be a right arm around. This time it's going to be Brandon Kruger. Adam Hickey has 1 over to go in his spell, should he need it. That's played down the ground there by Alan Joseph for 1 run. So Brandon bowled well in the first game, got a bit of tap towards the end of his spell. So it's important that bowling spells that kind of happen with the Limerick bowlers as well. Only really Usman finished off his spell. So that's well played away. It is slowing up. It's hard to tell from our vantage point, but the fielders have pulled up, which means it has gone to the boundary. That is Ashel with his 3rd 4, along with 1-6. He's at just over a run a ball, 29 runs.
He placed that very, very well, just beating Kieran O'Reilly.
And that ball racing over the dandelions out there. So, a bit of a chat going on between skipper and the wicket-keeper. Of course, it's interesting having your skipper on the boundary, Joe, but communication can be a bit difficult. Brandon's in again. And that's nicely played there from Ash Hill. Dropped into the offside, takes the single, and Alan Joseph alert to the situation. Good cricket there from Galway.
Very good cricket from Galway. The run rate is at a respectable 6.4, and they'll be happy with that, especially when you can nearly go a tenza off the last 4 or 5 overs.
It's a quick scoring ground, a free flowing ground, so trying to build a platform here will be crucial. The big column is the wicket column for Galway. That's the one they'll want to keep at a minimum, as Senan Jones right in there underneath the lid of Alan Joseph relatively. Absolutely lovely day up here in Cork Harlequins as that's played away through extra cover. That's Devon there who does the sweeping on the point boundary.
What is noticeable, rather, is the lack of dot balls that Galway are having. It's keeping the scoreboard ticking over all the time,
which is crucial. Oh, that's a good delivery. Maybe a bit of turn away that time.
And a bit fuller.
That brings to the end the 8th over. It is 49 for the loss of 1 wicket. So very important game for these two teams. Of course, both getting the win earlier on today, and they'll want to continue on that form. County Galway beating UCC down in Curraheen, and Cork Harlequins beating Limerick above here in Farmers Cross.
It's quite interesting, this table, because should Galway win, then it's all thrown up in the air, because Cork Harlequins are the only team to have no losses, while 2 or 3 teams have just 1 loss, and it reminds me of last year when Cork Harlequins went to Galway. Were unsure that they had got through because of other results. It could be a fascinating evening.
Down the leg side, and well stopped there from Shavam, diving away to his right, but the batters will come through for a single. Just straying down the leg side there, Matt. And of course it is like as we said at the top of the show, Joe, the prize here is to come up against a Leinster calibre team, the winner of the Alan Murray T20 Cup, as that ball has been pulled in the gap by Ashil, his 4th boundary. There's not much of a gap there, Joe, but Ashil didn't take a much invitation to find it.
He's starting to motor now. He had a quiet start, but He's now 34 off 31 with 4 fours and 1 6. It looks he's kind of a quiet player, but goes about his business diligently.
Absolutely. Has kind of gone on to 34 without anyone noticing, really. Just running well between the wickets. And that's clipped around the corner and will beat fine leg to his left. Back-to-back boundaries. County Galway starting to motor.
Another fantastic shot. And the run rate has now gone to 7s.
Just shows the importance that when you're not scoring boundaries that you're taking the singles, and that when the boundary ball does come along that you take advantage of it.
As I said, there aren't many dot balls for County Galway, which is very impressive.
So Matt then, 2 wides, followed up by 2 boundary deliveries, will be looking to come back well, and he does, just a single down the ground. And that will bring Alan Joseph back on strike. It's interesting, Joe, he runs with his gloves off, so that when he gets to the non-striker, he takes his gloves off.
I would assume, Rodders, that his gloves may be a bit soaked from playing earlier on.
But it's, as Matt comes in, that's short, dabbed into the leg side, and another single. But it's interesting, a coach once told me, I won't mention his name, but a coach once told me that all you should be holding when you're out batting is just your bat. That you shouldn't be holding anything else, gloves, helmet. People might take their helmet off when they're on the non-strikers end. That when you're batting, the only thing you should be holding on to is your bat. Oh, pressure being put on the fielder, who was nailed straight at Ryan. Called through for the single, the fumble took place, and they made it through comfortably.
Going back to your point there regarding holding the bat.
That you shouldn't be holding anything else but your bat.
Well, of course, I understand that, but if your gloves are sweaty and the bat is slipping in your hand, you have to dry them. That's great running. These two are running so well between the wickets.
An interesting point we might get back to later on in the broadcast. 9 overs done, 63 for the loss of 1 wicket.
You know I'm right.
As I said, it was told to me by a coach once, and it was...
It wasn't me, Your Honour.
No, it wasn't you.
Not that I'm claiming to be a coach.
9 overs done then, 11 to go. And it looks like Brandon will continue. His first over went for 7. He had a good outing with the bat in the first game, so he'll be looking to transfer that form to the ball. Of course, he has been bowling well this season, as Brandon. And Alan Joseph is in his sights, and that's well played from Alan Joseph. He moves on to 10. Very low risk from him so far.
And again, there's no need to play any risky shots. They're striking pretty well here. That was unfortunate there.
Trying to push that ball into the massive space in the leg side. There's a long on, long off.
Brandon is inviting them to do so.
A huge...
Ooh.
2 dots then.
Brandon finding a little bit of rhythm here now.
It'll be interesting to see because, of course, as myself and AJ mentioned in the first game, in order to build pressure in a limited overs game, you have to build pressure over 3 or 4 overs, whereas in this format, it's 3 or 4 deliveries.
Yeah, you're right there.
And no better way of alleviating pressure than getting off strike. Brilliant.
That's well worked. Soft hands. The fielder, I think, is fielding on the circle. So they've plenty of time to take that quick single.
And it's interesting, all bar 1 is pinching in, Joe. That's sending an extra cover. Well, just as we said, Alan Joseph looking for something big over the top, misses.
Potential drop catch there.
And yeah, there was no signal from umpire O'Sullivan, so
A tough chance.
doesn't really go down as a chance though, does it?
Surely it does. It slipped out, came out of the keeper's gloves, went away from him.
In the air
and
taken at point. Very unfortunate. It's Al Ashil. He goes for a brilliant 41 off 37, 5 fours, 1 6, but he'll feel as though he left so much runs out there. Chipped to point. Mubin takes the catch. It's 66 for 2.
He'll be kicking himself with that shot. He's played superbly for his 41. Nevertheless, unfortunately, he has to go. And a good breakthrough for Cork Harlequins.
Ashel gone for 41. County Galway 66 for 2. Halfway through the innings then, 66 for 2. 10 overs to go. Looks like Ryan Joyce is going to be introduced to the bowling crease. And it will be Alan Joseph on strike, and keeping him company out there, hopefully for a long time, will be Sarup. Sarup will be at the non-strikers end. Of course, County Galway, still plenty to play for this season. They are well in the Irish National Cup after defeating UCC, who they played earlier on today. They know UCC quite well after this season. So they have a quarter-final to look forward to. County Galway, and I stand corrected, I think they're taking on Rush Cricket Club from Dublin, from the Leinster Cricket Union, sorry, as Ryan is in then. Sharp from Ryan, kind of comes onto you quicker than what you expect, so he's bowling right arm over the wicket to Alan Joseph.
He has a very whippy arm action, doesn't he?
He does. Bowled well in the first game, bowled without luck really, what myself and AJ thought. So let's see, will he have more luck here? Bowled him. Middle stump. Alan Joseph tried to flay that ball away. Straight down the ground. He missed it. Ryan hit it. 3 wickets down.
Some excellent bowling there from Ryan. Middle stump. You know, we always say top of off, top of middle there.
Great delivery there from Ryan, dismissing Alan Joseph. 2 quick wickets for Cork Harlequins, 66 for 3 now, halfway through the 11th over. So that means 2 new batsmen at the crease now, neither of whom have faced a delivery. Sarup is still at the non-striker's end. Looks like another left-hand bat for County Galway. Plenty of left-hand batters in this Galway lineup. Sarup at the other end. So Ram Gokul then, the new batter, to the middle for County Galway.
Is he another left-hander?
He is indeed. I was just saying there to all our viewers, there's plenty of left-handers in this lineup for County Galway. So Ryan then, wicket second ball for him, and is on target again. Very handy medium pace for this Cork Harlequins team. On Galway, on the other hand, they were cruising really, and all of a sudden 2 wickets down.
It's kind of changed the momentum back into Cork Harlequins' favour.
Absolutely, I thought County Galway were starting to build a good platform there.
They were cruising it. Oh.
Down the leg side, and Shivam trying to take that ball. There was a big yelp.
It's a knuckle.
Even looking at that looks sore. So a white ball down leg side. Keeper Shivam tried to take it, but hit him on the hand. I think it's his right hand. Not sure what part of his right hand.
I would assume maybe his knuckle or his thumb.
Looked nasty wherever it was.
Yeah.
And he's down. And looks like we're going to have an injury break.
I think he may not. It's actually, if he goes, it's Cork Harlequins are in a bit of trouble. I can't see another wicketkeeper that could keep out there.
Don't think there's a subfielder either.
No, there isn't.
So there was a couple of late changes to this Cork Harlequins team. Zubair Hassan Khan dropped out.
He had, I think, a thigh injury.
And Rory O'Keefe dropped out as well.
He got a hand injury.
So it looks like Shivam Kisley is going to be added to that list of injuries. Although he's getting water on board. And the deep heat is on the way.
I watched last night Jerry Maguire. I don't know if you have ever seen it. Where the receiver got hit, basically, turned upside down, hit his back. And they were all silent for
Are you talking about American football?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
And all you saw him was eventually just getting up with the ball. There we are. Lazarus, he's risen again.
Well, he's on his feet, which is good to see.
Yeah.
And, well, it looks...
I think he might be going off for a little bit.
Well, they're trying... If he is going to go off, then they will need a subfielder. It looks like he won't be keeping any longer, will Shivam. It's going to be Mubin.
Yeah.
Who is a keeper. Who's going to take the gloves.
Yeah.
And just listening to the players, depending on whether Shivam can continue or not, it actually looks like one of the spectators is going to get a call-up.
It looks like Chris Morris might be coming on. But I don't see that he has any black pants. I don't know if the umpires will have to agree to this first.
Well, I suppose in terms of the umpires, they have to see his name on the list.
Which it isn't.
And another issue, and I think it's a bigger issue, is that do they have trousers which is the same size as Morris? As Morris is quite tall.
6'7", the number on his back.
So, do they have spare gear that fits him?
Well, I don't know, but it's all up to the umpire here. I think they're writing down his name onto the team sheet. I'm not sure what the rules state, but if the two umpires allow to come on, then he'll be fine.
Because there's a likelihood here that they won't.
Yeah, they're going his thumb.
So it's a thumb injury.
Yeah.
So it's
I suspect that the thumb went backwards. It could be dislocated. And if that's the case, then that's a couple of weeks.
That's terrible news for Shivam. So let's hope he's okay. He did walk off the ground under his own power, which is good to see, although he would do that anyway because it was his thumb.
He's under his own power. And I think some of us need some rechargeable batteries here in the commentary box.
Some of us are running on the petrol light is starting to flash here.
Yeah. And it's not electric power.
So I think we will definitely have a change of wicketkeeper. Whether we're going to have a change of personnel is another story. Whether Shivam can continue is still up for debate. All the players have left the field, trying to get out of this summer sunshine, as it is 20 degrees at least out there. And well, Joe, I never thought I'd see the day, but they have squeezed Chris Morris into a pants that probably doesn't fit him, and he will take the field. So he was coming up to the ground to watch a bit of cricket this afternoon and has now ended up on the field.
And it could be a tight-fitting pants as well, Rodders.
So we are, just to bring you up to speed, if you missed what happened in the last, I suppose, 5-7 minutes or so, a leg side delivery from Ryan Joyce. Shivam Kisley, the keeper, got his hands to it. It hit his thumb, it bent his thumb back. He could not continue wicket keeping, and it now has transpired he cannot continue in the game. So a sub-fielder has come on, 6'7" Chris Morris, who came to watch the game as a spectator but now finds himself on the field. He's squeezed into a pants.
It's not very well fitting. I think the pants comes just above his ankles.
So any quick sprints from Morris and he may rip the pants.
The other question is, has he taken a drink?
Of water.
Yeah. Right.
So Ryan then to continue the over, a very long over, 2 deliveries to go in it. It's nicked to third man. And it will be 4 runs. Unfortunately there, the spin beat the third man fielder. Good shot there from Ram Gokul. That's 4 second ball for him. Good shot, Joe.
A lovely shot. I don't think the fielder quite judged the spin on the ball.
Down the leg side for a wide ball. Good take from Mubin, who's our new wicketkeeper.
I actually think Mubin may have kept before, many moons ago.
Yeah. So, not an easy task. Ryan is getting the ball through quite sharply here. Nicked down to third man. Single taken. Fielded by sub-fielder Chris Morris, as his teammates encourage him. So that will bring Swaroop on. That was nicked by... Sorry, that was Swaroop with the boundary. And now this is Ram Gokul on strike. So last ball of the over then. Ram Gokul plays that towards point, well fielded by Brandon. And that will bring to an end a very, very, very long over. 74 for the loss of 3 wickets, 11 overs done. As I said, Shivam, the wicketkeeper, has gone off the field. And I don't think he will be returning.
We don't know that, Rodders. I suspect that he has his thumb in ice, and if he can get the swelling down a bit, he might be able to bat. But it'll be very difficult for him.
Brandon to continue then. Ram Gokul will be on strike for County Galway after a single off the last ball of the over. Of course, we'll get you an update of the Ireland and New Zealand game in just a moment. Ireland doing very well, scoring 300, batting first. But here and now, it's Brandon Kruger to Ram Gokul. Plays that into the leg side. Ryan, who just finished bowling a very long over, is straight back into the action, fielding that delivery for 1 run. And New Zealand are 74 for 3 off 12.4 overs. The latest man to go was Tom Latham, LBW, to Munster Reds player Curtis Camphor. Henry Nichols not out 4. Martin Guptill, not out 29. That'll bring Swaroop back on strike.
The crowds will be delighted in Malahide.
Played into the offside. Well fielded there from Ryan at extra cover. That'll be a dot ball. As AJ said earlier on, Joe, the ground fielding will be very important. Could even decide an outcome of a game. As Brandon's in again, played into the leg side this time, will get off strike. Good looking shot there from Swaroop.
You're right, Rodders. The 3 elements of cricket, a lot of teams forget about that element of fielding, and it is so important because you can save so many runs.
LBW attempt. All eyes to the umpire. Not given. Also a stumping opportunity as well. Cork Harlequins looking for the double play. They didn't get anything though. So the LBW attempt looked like it was sliding down the leg side.
I think the umpire took his time to review that shout. Might have been closer than we thought.
Played into the leg side. That'll be 1 run, although they'll push for 2. That was Ram Gokul there getting off strike, bringing Swaroop back to the striker's end. Getting very warm out there now. That's a good shot. And it's 4 runs. Swaroop with his second boundary, taking on Brandon Kruger and getting the desired result. 12 overs gone, 81 for 3.
A lovely looking shot that. There is a gap down there, and Cork Harlequins may want to consider filling that gap in a while.
8 overs to go then, a run rate of 6.75, nearly 7 runs and over. And looks like Ryan will continue from that city end of the ground. So Ryan then to continue. Pretty standard field. A third man, fine leg, deep backward square, deep mid wicket, and a long on. That ball played into the offside this time. Fielded at backward point by Brandon Kruger. That gets Ram Gokul off strike to bring Swaroop back on strike. So this is Ryan's second over. Just trying to get the field right here. There is the only man that was short. Swaroop looking for that pull stroke but missed it. Only third man and long off are the deep fielders on the offside. So any width outside the off stump here, and one would imagine Swaroop will throw his hands through it. Although just as I say that, deep point will go back to the fence and deep backward square will come inside the circle. Very important to keep an eye on the fielders outside the ring. And that's a dot ball, I think. Well, Archie has, that ball has, well, it looked like it went down the leg side, but obviously the batter, Swaroop, jumped inside the line of the delivery. And it was a dot ball as the very next delivery is guided down to fine leg for 1 run for Swaroop.
He's got very quick bat speed, doesn't he, Rodders?
He's down on that ball like a flash. So 2 deliveries to go then. There'll be 7 to go after this. Ryan going to be steaming in from that end in the air. Fielder sets himself and takes it. Matt Brewster with the catch. Ram Gokul, his innings comes to an end. He's gotten 4 runs off 7 deliveries. And another wicket down. It's 83 for 4 now. Bit of a soft dismissal there, Joe.
Very soft. He didn't put his hand through the ball at all. It was just a bit of a chip, really. But well taken by the captain, Brewster. But unfortunately, Ram Gokul has to go. And the 2 lads were batting pretty well together, weren't they?
Yes, indeed. However, Swaroop is going to get a new partner out there. A second wicket then for Ryan Joyce. First one was bowled top of the middle stump. The second one, Ram Gokul caught Matt Brewster, bowled by Ryan Joyce. Very, very warm out there. Warm work for the players. Still lots of encouragement for the bowler. A very important game this, as we said right at the top of the broadcast. The winner of this game will put themselves in a good position to get themselves to the top of the leaderboard. So Sampath then is going to be the new batter. And in fact, they did cross. So that was a dot ball for Swaroop. That's the end of the 13th over. It is 83 for the loss of 4 wickets. And after a good solid start from County Galway, Joe, their innings is kind of stalling a little bit here.
I think that the break where Shivam busted up his thumb didn't help. You normally have a bit of momentum, and if there's like anything, if there's a break, like a drinks break, drinks bring wickets, so the run rate has kind of stalled a little bit here, and I think Galway would quickly need to start hitting a few more boundaries.
Adam Hickey back into the attack then. He has 1 over to go. Beaten on the outside edge. That's Sampath there. Sampath ready, facing his first delivery. Last over for Adam, 1 for 17 so far. He'll be looking to finish strong. Whereas Galway will County Galway will try to shift a bit of momentum back in their favour.
He got away with that ball there. He dragged it down.
Because, of course, as we saw in the first game, it is a free-flowing ground. Runs can come very, very quickly.
Nice little touch there. So
County Galway will know that they need to get a good score on the board, as Sampath getting off strike. Getting off the mark with a dab down to the offside.
I think a lot of pressure now will be on Swaroop to produce the goods here.
11 off 9 with 2 boundaries. Plays that through the offside. Well fielded there. I think that's Esmat at point. So Adam Hickey, 2 more deliveries to go in his spell then. Sampath on strike. Chipped just over mid-wicket. And it's well fielded there from Devon Joyce. And a good arm in as well. 2 runs off that. Well called between the 2 fielders. For a split second I thought there was going to be a bit of a crash, but it was well called. Avoiding the collision, which is the most important thing.
Just an update regarding Shivam's thumb. He thinks it's broken.
Oh dear. Last ball then of Adam's spell. Sampath tucks that ball into the leg side. 14 overs are in the books. County Galway 88 for 4. It's important, Joe, that they start to build that momentum again. run those singles hard, put away the bad ball, and try to get themselves back on top in this game.
I think you summarised that very well, Rodders. They should be looking at now about 140, 150 from here on in.
Ryan then for his third over. It'll be Sampath on strike. 6 overs to go in this innings, so 150, 160 is a score that Galway will be looking at. That's a dot ball.
Joyce is bowling very, very well. Not into the batsman's arc.
What's been very impressive is his length. I think it hasn't been half volleys. It's been into the pitch. And the field has been well set as well. Bowling to your field, simple cricket. And Cork Harlequins doing the simple things well. County Galway just trying to break the shackles here a bit. You feel as though one good over here for County Galway could be very telling for them.
They can't leave it too late to start. Increasing the run rate.
And just as you say it, Joe, good shot there from Swaroop. Wide of third man and will race away down to the long leg fence for 4 runs.
Split the fielders in two there. Lovely looking shot.
Using the pace there of Ryan just a little bit wide there. Maybe a 6-stump line. Allowing Swaroop to guide that ball down to the fence. Goes full and is driven down to mid-off.
Of course, Swaroop had a stint at Cork County last year and has gone back up to Galway.
Lovely spot is Galway.
Yeah.
It's a lovely countryside as well, as that ball is played by Sampath into the space in the offside for 1 run. Yeah, really nice place. Galway. I think my favourite part is Connemara, personally. Do you have any favourite spot in Galway?
I used to live in Galway City years ago.
There we go. And that's heaved short of the mid-off, the long-off fielder. Swaroop there.
Chance.
You're just playing it safe. Gets off strike. End of 15 overs. 96 for the loss of 4 wickets.
That's if it's in play. Look at that. Cork
So 96 then. $96 for 4. County Galway winning the toss and electing to bat in this MCU Premier Division T20 match. Looks like Brandon is going to continue. Played away there from Swaroop. Off the outside edge, fielded by Esmat for 1 run. So 4 overs to go then. One would wonder what score. And that's in the air. Fielder sets himself and takes it. Sampath goes. Bold Kruger caught Devon Joyce. And another wicket falls.
That's a crucial wicket there.
Just when Galway didn't need to lose a wicket, they did. It's 97 for 5. Sampath goes for 6.
Can I leave this here?
Yeah, of course. Big wicket then. Sampath departs. Looking for the big shot over square leg. It was the short boundary. And the ball was turning into him from Brandon Kruger. But unfortunately, didn't get enough bat on it. Found the fielder at deep mid-wicket. That was Devon. A good catch from him. Looking into the sun a little bit. That's the one thing with bright weather, is that the sun can be difficult to deal with. They did cross, so Swaroop will be on strike. That's a dot ball for him. 97 for 5 now, Cork County. County Galway. I think some Cork County players have arrived up to see the game, so I think that's why I said it. As drilled through extra cover. And that will be 4 runs. That's a wonderful shot from Swaroop. His 4th boundary. Overpitched from Brandon Swaroop into his extra cover drive. All along the ground for 4 runs.
A beautiful looking shot there. And that brings up Galway's 100. Coming in the 16th over.
101 for 5 now. And the new batter is Mahmood for Galway. LBW shout, and he's given him.
Umpire was nodded.
Swaroop stands there. Not sure, was he in disbelief that he missed the ball or that the umpire gave it, but the umpire's decision is final. 2 wickets in the over.
Seems to be a bit of chirping going on there.
Well, we don't... Once it's all PG and above board, one doesn't mind that. It's when language starts to be used is when it starts to go over the top. But once no bad language was used and nothing personal was said, then it's okay. Swaroop goes then. Big wicket, Joe.
Huge wicket. Again, momentum is broken for County Galway. It's a very crucial time in the game.
Absolutely, Joe. So big wicket there for Cork Harlequins. Just seems that every time Galway are getting into the game, that they're gaining the upper hand, they lose a wicket. So just losing them at the wrong times, I think. That was LBW Swaroop. 6 wickets down now. And it is Sinan now, the left-hand bat. And it's a great delivery to get first up. Ball pitched on about middle stump, turned away, beats the outside edge. 16 overs done, 101 for the loss of 6 wickets. Yes. So it looks like Ryan is going to bowl his last over then. The batter on strike is Mahmood. And just a quick word there on Mubin. He's kept very well. Of course, it's been a while since he's taken the gloves. Standing up to Ryan Joyce here and to Brandon in the previous over. Also some good takes down the leg side as well. Ryan to bowl his last then. 2 wickets already, Joe. Has bowled very well.
He has, and his bowling has been very consistent today. Not giving the batsmen chances.
Well, Mahmood tried to play that to the leg side. Ended up getting the ball down to third man. That will bring Sinan back on strike, the left-hand bat.
You feel that the next 2-3 overs are very crucial for Galway. They need to be getting up to that 140, 150 mark.
Yeah, I think those wickets in the middle overs really have held them back. However, all is not lost. A good partnership here. could get him to a competitive
That's
score, and
flick.
that's going to help. Fine leg is in the ring.
They're very good off their hips.
Tapped around the corner, 4 runs. A welcome boundary for County Galway.
Yes, indeed, and this is what they need. From now on, they need to be hitting boundaries regularly.
Low risk cricket there. Again, that right-hand, left-hand combination will make it difficult as Joyce comes around the wicket now. And it's a good reply from him. Yorker length delivery outside the off stump for a dot ball. So it's going to be a bit of a game of cat and mouse here now for the rest of the innings. The fielders will be set in. So, for example, the leg side field is set back with only 2 deep fielders on the offside. As that ball is in the air, falls short of the fielder for a dot ball. So it'll be interesting to see where Galway's boundary options are going to be here. Or will they have to be inventive in their stroke play? That's a good looking shot. Played into the offside for 1 run. And that's the end of the over. 17 done, 3 to go, 107 for the loss of 6 wickets. Joe, those, as we just said there, those wickets in the middle overs not helping Galway's cause.
It wasn't because, as well, those batsmen there some of them were set at the time. 1 or 2 gave away their wickets, and they're really good batsmen. You could see that they knew where they wanted to hit the ball. You feel that now I think they're not trying as hard. So they're not looking for 1s, 2s, you know.
Yeah, I think the running between the wickets perhaps has dropped away ever so slightly. It's going to be Matt Brewster then to continue to come into the attack. He's bowled 2 overs so far for no wickets, and looks like a field that Cork Harlequins have used regularly. Only 1 man in the ring on the leg side, Joe. And that fielder is 45. So this ball is going to be short and at the body, which is what happens. Fielded out there by Kieran O'Reilly at long on.
I think Harlequins will be happy just giving singles at this stage. Rodders. They're protecting the boundaries quite well.
That will bring Mahmood on strike. Wide ball outside the off stump.
That was his his slower delivery that didn't come off.
Well, I think a good example of slower deliveries was that Limerick attack.
No, Azim, was it?
Farouk.
Yeah.
Very
Farouk.
well bowled from him earlier on today. Edged. Well placed. 4 runs.
Welcome boundary for County Galway. In this game, you need a bit of luck at times. It might be the luck that kickstarts the rest of their innings.
They creep up to 113 now. 4 deliveries to go in this over.
It's kind of an under edge.
Well placed between third man short third man and the wicketkeeper. However, third man has now dropped down to the fence, and that's gone up in the air. Fielder sets himself. Devon takes another catch at deep mid wicket, and Mahmood has to go for 5. And yet again, just as County Galway were looking to build a partnership, they lose a wicket. The partnership was worth 12, but that's over. 113 for the loss of 7 wickets.
And a carbon copy catch by Devon Joyce there. Again, we've been saying it all afternoon. You need to build partnerships, and they haven't been able to build a solid partnership. They get their starts, but they're not cashing in.
definitely something that County Galway will be looking at. They did cross, so Sinin will be back on strike. The new batter is on the non-striker's end. And the new batter is Mittul. And that's chipped up in the air. Is there another chance? Nope. Falls short of the fielder. It'll just be one run for Mohammed Sinin. And the new batter is going to be Mittul. He'll be on strike now. 2 balls to go in this over then. And as much as we're saying County Galway must build partnerships, etc., that's a wide ball down the leg side. The Cork Harlequins bowlers haven't made it easy, have they, Joe?
No.
They've bowled a good length and a good line.
You're right, and they've taken their catches as well, Rodders.
So Mittul then. That was a wide first ball to him, so he'll have another crack at the whip. Yorker length delivery. Beats the bat that time for a dot ball. And that's the end of the over. Only 2 to go. 115 for 7. A run rate of 6 points. Just under 6.5 runs and over.
At this stage, Rodders, they'll be happy to get 130. We'll revise the totals.
Yeah.
130, 135. But they need to go for it now. But unfortunately, they don't have many wickets to play around with.
Yeah, I think that's the real problem, isn't it? 12 deliveries to go. If they could double that, to, 24 in the last 2. But the wickets in hand, a bit of an issue for them. What also is an issue is for New Zealand is that they've now lost 4 wickets. Henry Nichols, the latest man to go, bowled Curtis Camphor, caught Lorcan Tucker. That's a wide ball outside the off stump. Senan Jones being reintroduced to the bowling crease from that city end of the ground.
A lovely take down leg there by Mubin Ali.
3 overs, no maidens, no wickets for 18 runs. But of course, in the last game, Joe, the exact same happened to Senan. He was very economical in his first spell and reaped the rewards for that in his second spell. As that ball goes up, and it's taken.
Who else?
It's Devon again. Very unfortunate there from Senan. He hit it well. He just picked out the fielder perfectly.
That was a fantastic catch again by Devon.
He goes for 7. County Galway 116 for 8. Jayesh then, batting number 10. The batters did not cross, I don't believe. Well, the batter couldn't have picked out the fielder any better if he tried, Joe. It went straight to him.
It just seems to me that they're not hitting with a lot of power. They're not timing it well. Maybe it's because we spoke about it earlier about playing on grass, that it's a bit different. But I know this Galway unit have also been playing in Leinster, so they should be used to playing on grass.
Jayesh then getting off strike. And Mittul plays that ball onto the leg side. Great effort from the deep
Fantastic
fielder,
effort.
Jack Boss, but it does get by him and it will be a welcome 4. That brings the total to 121 then.
I don't think anybody would mind him attempting that catch. It was so close, and they don't mind the boundary at this stage.
One of the most difficult catches to go for, diving forward. As that goes straight up. Is this another opportunity? Oh, great effort again. And they keep on running. They will run 3. That ball went high in the air. And Mittul. Oh no, Jayesh hit that. Well, great effort from Jack Buss. Just couldn't lay a mitt on that one. It went very, very high. And now played into the leg side. Even the bowlers after that one. But they'll only get 1 run. And that's the end of the over. 1 over to go. 125 for 8. So they might get up to that 130 mark. Joe, maybe 135.
I reckon
be looking at now.
135. They could reach 140.
So it looks like Matty Brewster then is going to finish off his quota.
If you're looking on YouTube, I did make an error. Matty's only bowled 4 at the moment. Or 3, sorry.
Oh, what happened there?
It's a no ball. We've seen it all today, Rodders.
Well, let's see what he calls it. This might be called a dead ball. We'll just wait for the call from
We'll
Gerald
have a look
Sullivan.
on the screen there. Knee.
So it's a dead ball. So as the bowler ran in, he tripped over, hit the stumps at the non-strikers and completely unintentional, and the umpire's given it as a dead ball.
Okay.
So we'll try that again. Catching opportunity, and it's taken that extra cover. And it's Mittul who has to go. Caught by Brandon Kruger.
That was an unusual one.
It was just chipped.
I'd love to know the law on that. Like, he hit it with his knee, the stumps.
Well, it was called a no ball because
Originally.
Stephen Finn did it, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, but that was with his hand.
I think he just ran into the stumps.
Dear God.
It'll going to be Ilif then. Is going to be at the... Well, did they cross? Looks like they did. So they did cross. So Jayesh then. 5 deliveries to go. And that's a dot ball. So 4 deliveries to go then. I suppose the bat out the innings now must be the call for Galway.
They have to bat out the innings.
To leave deliveries out there wouldn't be a good start. Here's Matt Brewster again. Up in the air.
In the air.
That's going. It's going.
It's gone.
And it's gone. Great shot there from Jayesh.
Great reference there to baseball. A homage to baseball, Rodders.
So they have got up to the 130 then. Good shot down the ground, all along the ground this time. They will take the single. That will bring Ilif on strike. So everyone will get to face a ball today for Galway, which is nice. After making the long journey down. They had success in that first game, and they'll be looking to get to a total that will bring them success in this game. So they're getting there, Joe. 132 for the loss of 9 wickets.
You never know, Rodders. This could be a competitive total. Remember, this wicket has been played. There have been 2 40-over games played in it before.
Won't be easy to chase on.
No.
Ilif pushing that ball to extra cover.
Very, very close. They may come back for a second, but they think no.
They think against it. 1 delivery to go then. Barring a wide or a no ball or anything like that. Of course, we have had a no ball already today where the bowler did not tell the umpire their action. Hence a no ball was given.
Quite a strange one. I'd never seen that one before.
1 ball to go. Goes big. And
That's
it
a
will be 1 bounce
shot.
for. Strong end to the innings. 137 for the loss of 9 wickets. Cork Harlequins will be chasing 138 to win this game. A brilliant finish there by the batter. I think it was Diish was the batter, so well done to him. So they have a score on the board then. County Galway in their fluorescent stripy tops.
It's a nice piece of kit that they have.
It is a nice bit of kit. So Cork Harlequins require 138 off 20 overs with 10 wickets in hand. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Be sure to tune in for the second innings of the match. Joe, before we go?
I just want to say Rollers has to leave the commentary now. And I would just like to say thank you so much to him for today. You've done brilliantly. And we'll see you again soon, Rodders.
Thank you very much, Joe. And we'll talk to you soon. And we'll be back for the conclusion of this game in 10 minutes' time.
So you're very welcome back to the Cork Harlequins innings. They are chasing 138 to win. And out there, Captain Matthew Brewster is taking strike. And on the non-striker, the change in the opening partnership as Shivam Kinsey is injured, is Jack Buss. And opening from the city end is Ilif Summit. So, looking around some of the grounds today, we'll go to Malahide first. Ireland made 300 for 9, and currently New Zealand are 122 for 5 off 23.2 overs. Ireland in with a great chance to pick up 10 points going towards the World Cup. Elsewhere, in the Olive bowls the first ball, and Brewster is quickly off strike, guiding that down towards the square leg for a single. Now Jack Buss faces his first ball of the afternoon. Once again, thank you to Eric Cotter for his commentary in the first game, and also the Galway innings earlier on. And there's an appeal for LBW. Looked going down a little bit down leg there. Galway, interestingly enough, have 2 slips for Ilif. Pace off there by Ilif. Jack Buss happy enough to defend that one. Beautiful day up here in Farmers Cross. A nice bit of breeze coming through the commentary box. But nothing to blow the gazebo away. And bowled. Jack Buss misses a straight one. Bowled middle stump. Great start for County Galway. This is what they needed. Fantastic start there. Fourth ball in. And I'm delighted to say I'm joined by the Cork Harlequins wicketkeeper who's injured, Shivam Kinsey. Good afternoon, Shivam.
Hey Joe, how are you?
I'm not too bad at all, thank you. So, a good start for County Galway there.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I was saying earlier, the low scores can actually get very tricky at times. So I think the guys need to just hang in there, and the wicket's actually very good to bat. Yeah, so I think use the field, run those ones and twos, and I think we should be good. We have a deep batting lineup, and just need to follow the basics. Yeah.
Coming to the crease now is Ryan Joyce. Obviously, in the first game, Ryan got out for a golden first bowler.
Yeah. Very talented player, though. Very talented player.
So he'll be hoping to get a few runs here to get over his nerves. I'm sure he's nervous going out. He doesn't want to pair on the day.
But he bowled well, so I think that would have given him some confidence to go on and try. And
so again, it's a bit unusual to see 2 slips in a...
I wouldn't call the second person a slip. I think it's third or fourth slip or a gully. It's supposed to be a gully, but I think it's not well positioned. Oh.
Wide ball there.
And Joe, you have also kept for long. Seeing the keeper's position for that bowler, don't you think he's in not in a usual position. I think he should be either up to the stumps or a couple more steps back, because an edge there will not give him any chance to gather anything.
I agree with you. To me, it shows that he's unsure of what the bowler is going to do.
Yeah.
Maybe not confident. I think the word is to take pace off, not the Harlequins batsman to use the pace.
Yeah.
He's bowling quite well by taking pace off, but you're right, Shivam. I think he should be right up behind the stumps, because you can counter that by coming down the wicket.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well defended again by Ryan.
He middled that defence, so I think that would actually give him some confidence.
Absolutely. So, end of the over. I see more flights coming in today into Cork Airport. There's another one coming in. Good to see the airport back up and running.
Yeah, and I think Dublin is kind of regretting it at the moment with the number of queues. Well, I see on the news every day. The queue out there, people are going in 4 hours, 5 hours early, and still just managing to get the flight. So
yeah,
good.
It has been. It's interesting, Shiv, to see that Ryanair have added on new destinations, but some of them are actually destinations that they use in Dublin too. So I think they're trying to capture a bit of the Dublin market.
Yes, absolutely.
But we're happy down here, Shiv, with no queues, aren't we?
Yeah. Probably when I book my flights to India next time, I'll book it from Cork.
Yeah, more. So Jayesh is coming on to bowl here from the clubhouse end or Ballygarvan end. Of course, we're only Cork Harlequins ground. Farmers Cross is only across the road from the Cork Airport. That's well struck there by
really good shot
by Matthew Brewster.
Matt is looking very confident and very positive. I remember I just had a chat with him before the games today, and he was very confident, and he was saying that he's going to be very positive with the bat and with the bowl, and that actually showed in his captaincy as well. Really good, really spot on with his captainship decisions, and I think he has shown a lot of growth and progress since last year as a captain, as a batsman.
It takes time, and he's a young man, 21 years of age.
Yeah.
I mean, the average age of the team is roughly 21, 22.
Yeah. I think me and Mubin are the outliers, where we are 28 and 37 altogether.
Yeah. So good start by Matthew with the first boundary of the day. He'll strike again. A bit wider that time, that ball. Excuse me. It may race away.
Well.
And another boundary.
That has always been the marque of Cork Harlequins, is the outfield. Always very quick outfields. I remember my first game when I used to play for UCC and I played for Harlequins. I was just so impressed by the outfield. You get value for your shots all the time. So
I think that was a T20 game against the Hurricanes.
Yes.
If I'm not, and I think you top scored for UCC that night.
Yes, that's right. I remember chatting with you that day. You came and complimented me. It was a big day for me.
It's a better ball there. Beats
Good
the bat.
line.
Yeah.
Matty trying to chase that way outside off. I think he should have just guided, because seeing the slips and the gully fielder, even if he gets a nick, I'm not sure if they'll be with the pace. They'll be able to catch it on time. So even if he tries to guide it, that'll go to the boundary. It's
a mark though as well that there's only three fielders on the leg side. So that's well struck. He's seeing it like a ball today. But as I was saying, the bowler must have a lot of confidence in himself to say that he can bowl that line outside off.
Yeah. And I think he's been doing that for some time. I mean, he's bowling to the field, which is really good to see. So he's justifying this field placement.
Bit of a full
really
toss
good
there.
Shot, really good shot.
Straight down the ground. And another boundary. Brewster off to a flyer, 13 off 6.
Matty batting with a really good strike rate here.
They haven't been, the first two weren't bad balls. That one obviously was a bad ball, but he's just leaning into the shot and just driving it.
That's right, yeah. I think he's using the width.
And that's well hit again, but is it out? Yes, it is.
Seems like
and the second wicket has fallen.
Seems like a commentator's curse now.
That's happened on many occasions today, Shivam.
I presume we won't be saying anything when I'm batting this time. I hope I don't get to bat with my finger. It looks like it'll be a pain when I go to bat.
We'll talk about your finger there now. Your thumb, is it?
Yeah, it's my
The
thumb.
thumb.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a sec. So I think that might have been... If I just go down through... I think that might have been Ashel who took that catch, number 12. And a good catch it was. And it looks like there's your stand-in keeper, Mubin, who's coming to the crease now.
Yes. Very experienced player.
Again, he didn't have a good game against Limerick. He got out for a duck as well.
Yeah, I was in the dressing room when he came in and...
Not happy?
Not very happy, of course. The fact that he is not available for the trainings because of the location, and he knows that and regrets that he is not as much available for the trainings, and he was saying he was just blinded by that ball.
Right.
And probably more training and more fitness can actually help him counter it.
He was a big part of the squad last year when you got to the final of the All-Ireland T20.
Absolutely.
And of course, this is the prize on offer for today. Currently, Cork Harlequins are in charge of the league, and should they win here, they will go to the semi-final. It's well left outside off. Elif still bowling slower deliveries, but he'll be happy if he faced his first ball. And
oh yeah, the first ball is always a jibber when you face in. Yeah. I totally understand that. Mubin being a very calm and composed player, I think he needs to show his experience here and play the sheet anchors role.
Yeah.
And I think Ryan, being an aggressive player by himself, can take on the bad balls.
That's a play and a miss there by Mubin Ali. Well bowled by Elif. 2-dot balls. Do you think he'll be under pressure now in his head, considering he hasn't hit a run all day? I know he's only faced 3 balls totally.
Yeah. Knowing Mubin, I'm pretty sure he won't be under pressure. He has been here, and there's a saying, right? Been here, done that.
Yeah.
So he can tell that, like, he has been here for long. I'm pretty sure he'll pull through.
So 3 balls remaining in this over. Cork Harlequins are 14 for 2 off 2.3. Early days yet.
Oh.
And again,
that squared Mubin up. Really good ball there.
Nice bit of bounce as well.
Yeah, I think the pitch has started really playing well. After the first innings of the last game, we could see how the Limerick guys were batting. The ball was coming really nicely on the bat, and any bad balls were punished, and it was coming really nice on the bats. And when I was talking to the Galway guys, as a keeper, you'd like to chirp, right?
Yeah.
So I was chirping to one of the batsmen, and they said it's really nice wicket. Oh.
That's an edge.
Like I said.
Will that go all the way? And that goes for 4. Between the keeper and first or second slip, I don't know.
It was between the first slip and the gully position. I think the keeper's glove deflected it more, and I think it went there. Like I was telling earlier, the way they are standing too close to the stumps, and they don't really give themselves chance.
They should come back a bit,
yeah. Couple of steps back, give themselves chance, because the bounce is even. It's carrying to the keeper, so why not give yourself an extra microseconds to judge for those catches.
Follows up with it wide. Sometimes that happens if the chance goes down. You
you
bowl a bad ball.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you're raging in your head and you don't want to say it.
Absolutely, yeah. I think Mubin is one who loves to take free runs.
Yeah.
So, how good was he behind the stumps today?
Oh, he was fantastic. For a guy that hasn't kept
in a
years.
really long time, yeah.
And
It's a
again,
great learning experience for me as well when I see him keep, by the way he was moving, and even when I am keeping and he's somewhere near me, he always gives me advices.
and that ends the over. Iliffe is bowling a good line and length. Only 5 off it. Could have had a wicket. Potentially should have had a wicket.
Yes.
So 19 for 2 off 3 overs. Harlequins chasing 138.
I think Swaroop is not a natural keeper. I think he's filling in, or I think they don't have a proper keeper, and that's why he's keeping.
Is it Tom's father that the sergeant, Mr. Mahan up in Galway, I think is normally good keep.
All right. Tom Mahan, I think he was batting today, and he hit a
Yeah.
huge 6.
Yeah, he did. It was an unusual shot,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
It was as though the bat slipped from his hand, and
I would like to take credit for Tom Mahan's wicket. I was disturbing him a lot, and then the next ball he got out.
so Jayesh keeps.
That's good looking drive from Ryan Joyce.
Most importantly, it's a dot ball. The current run rate is 6. Cork Harlequins are looking for 7. As I said, early stages yet, but they would want to try and keep up with that run rate, not to let it go too far. It's well defended again. Some tight bowling here by Galway.
I think run-wise we are okay. It's just a couple of wickets that have fallen. Might
It-
sting Cork Harlequins now, but I think run-wise we are fine, knowing that it's a good wicket to bat on, and
You don't want to lose any more wickets
Yeah.
in the power play.
yeah. And once the field open, taking those single double will be
Yeah.
very easy.
And that's pulled away.
Pulled
That
away
won't
by
go all the
Ryan.
way, but it'll go enough for 4.
Good confidence a booster for Ryan there. I was,
If you're bowling at that pace, if you don't get the length right,
yeah, it can be punished.
because the ball is coming onto the bat, and if it's bowled, I wouldn't even say very short. It wasn't a great delivery.
Yeah, it wasn't short. I mean,
Yeah.
if with the right pace, I think that was not a pull short length ball,
Correct.
but just that he had so much of time, he could just judge the
Do
height
whatever
of the
he
ball,
wanted to
yeah.
do with it.
And there being no protection there, I think
So
it's a
I
risky
think
shot.
that's gone into the field.
In a weather like this, when the ball goes in the field, it's a nice breather for the batsman. So
There's a nice little breeze
yeah,
coming
at
through the
moment,
ground
yes.
now. So talk us through your injury, Shiv.
Yeah, so I got injured on my right thumb finger. It's the same spot. Beginning of the season, the first match we were playing against Cork County, and I was keeping up to Senate, and that's where I got hurt. And it was swollen back then, but then it got better. And I was just taping up. And since Joe has left now for America,
Joe,
Hurrian, yeah.
yeah.
So I've been keeping. And then today Ryan's ball just shot up from down the leg. I could have gathered it, but it hit my thumb really hard in the same spot, and the pain. I mean, still now I think just thanks to Chris and for the ice that it's still. I mean, I can bear it at the moment, but I'm pretty sure it's a fracture and I need to get that sorted. Yeah.
So you'll have a go to hospital tomorrow to have a look.
Now the only regret is I had few really good matches this week for the
Yeah.
Leeds.
Oh, there are heat games on
there are
this week?
There are 3 games: Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Okay. And that's well hit again
That's
by
really good.
Ryan. That may go. No, it
that's
won't.
one bounce for.
His uncle catches the ball behind the boundary rope. Consecutive boundaries there for Ryan Joyce.
It's a risk-free shot. I think good use of the power play. Seeing the fielders in and playing the nice shots.
The question is, will they make a change here now? Both shots have been hit on the leg side. He tries to guide that down.
Good thinking there from Ryan. I think got a boundary and now trying to get off strike. I think that's the way to go. He has to also make sure Mubin doesn't stay off strike for long.
No, It's well defended. And that's the end of the over. Shivam is departing. He's told me that he may have to bat. I would recommend not to bat with his fractured thumb. So Ilif continues. He's been quite economical. 2 overs. 1 for 7. An economy of 3.5. They have taken slip out now. Mubin Ali looking to hit his proper first run off the bat. His first ball was an edge. Should have been taken by the keeper, but went all the way for 4. This is good bowling, tight bowling by Ilif. Batsman and wicketkeeper are having a quick chat to each other. Now he settles down. Ilif comes into bowl. Mubin Ali defends it. 3 dots now for Cork Harlequins. Run rate kind of climbing up a little bit. 7's now needed. Current run rate is 6. And there's been a bit of a conversation now between the batsman and the wicketkeeper. Don't know what's going on there, but it looks like to be a bit of handbags. I think the captain will be called out. So the best thing for us to do is, I think both batsman and wicketkeeper just get on with the game. That's what we're here to play. Not to watch them chat among each other, no matter what they're saying. And Mubin defends that. Mubin hits that well enough indeed for his 6 runs. He walks over to his partner, pumps fists him. More chatting going on among the players. So while the Galway team are looking for the ball on top of the ditch, I'm delighted to be joined by Cork Harlequins captain Matthew Brewster.
Hi Joe, happy to be here.
Welcome.
Cheers.
So Matt, I don't know what's going on out there. What's going on? Tell me.
I have no idea. I went into the bar to get a Lucasade and came back and there was a scrap, so I have no idea what's going on.
I wouldn't call it a scrap. There was just a different opinions being voiced out there.
Yeah, one thing I would say is you don't want to piss off Mubi and Ali.
We'll bleep that one out there, Matthew. Remember, this is a family show. Thank you very much.
Sorry, Joe.
Apologies to everyone who heard that. He'll know in future. So yes, moving on swiftly. So Matt, Galway got a good score, I thought, in the end, 137, 138.
Yeah, not bad. Obviously, the first game was a 180, play 160, so we'd say par is about 160. So we were quite happy. We maybe gave him a few extra to what we wanted to, but I'd say 140 is very chaseable in this.
Yeah. Again, we see that Cork Harlequins lost wickets in the power play. The first one kind of bucked the trend where 90% of games are lost if you lose 3 wickets in the power play. You mustn't have been happy after the end of that power play in the first game.
Oh, the first game? It happens sometimes. We have a very strong batting lineup today, so we were kind of confident. We obviously would like to have lost less wickets, but we were quite happy with the total we had off the power play. And also the innings from Brandon Kruger and Devon was phenomenal.
Yeah, Brandon hasn't been hitting many runs of late, and that should give him a lot of confidence going into the rest of the season.
Absolutely. I think it's T20, kind of frees guys up a little bit. He just kind of goes out with a license where he knows he can just hit the ball hard down the ground, and it just kind of takes away the mental side of the game sometimes. And
you had a good knock yourself in the first innings, but unfortunately, I think you chipped one there. Talk us through that thought process, chipping.
Well, to be quite honest,
because you were hitting it quite sweetly.
Yeah, I hit your man for 3-4s already in the over, but I don't know, with run chases like these, they can kind of be tricky totals, when they're not kind of below par. And the aim really was to break the back of the run chase early.
Right.
I backed myself, and to be honest, he was bowling quite full length. I kind of thought I'd be able to get it over mid on, and I just told end it. But that happens in T20.
It does,
cricket.
of course, yeah, of course it does.
And
we saw that with the Galway innings here, where they got off to a good start, but unfortunately for them, they couldn't build on any partnerships of note, and that's why they ended up with that, as you say, a bit below par totals. And I must say the catching was very good today by Cork Harlequins.
Yeah, no, we were decent in the field. It's tough, hot day today. 2 T20s back to back after a game in Dublin yesterday, but the boys stuck at it pretty well. Pretty proud of the lads, especially a special shout out to Chris Morris, who came on to 12th man.
Fair play to him.
Brilliant for him.
And final ball, I think, of this over should be delivered by Ilith, and that's defended by Mubin. So 6 off that over, bit longer than what we thought it would be. So 33 for 2 off 5. Galway made 35 off their power play.
I think it's pretty good total from the guys, to be honest. If we can get an extra 10 off this over here, we'd be pretty happy. 40 off for 2 off the power play is a pretty good place to be, especially with the batting lineup we have.
So wickets again falling regularly for New Zealand. They're now 156 for 6. And the latest guy to go is Martin Guptill on 51 off 61 balls with 4 sixes and 1 6. Ireland look to be doing well here. They're chasing 300.
Jeez, I didn't actually check the score today.
Yeah, Harry Tactor scored 113.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
Valuable points on offer here, the World Cricket League. I think we might have a change of bowler. So Joseph Allen is coming on to bowl.
Pretty sure he took 5 against us yesterday when we played Railway.
Apologies, it's Alan Joseph. Alan Matthew? I think Joseph is his middle name. That's well struck by Ryan, just for a single. What type of bowler is he? He plays for Railway Union as well, doesn't he?
There's a couple of lads who played yesterday who are playing today.
Right.
The left-hander who opened the batting got 40 odd. He played yesterday. Didn't get too many yesterday.
Right.
This lad took 5 yesterday.
Wow.
It was the pitch suited him a bit more than the pitch today will suit him, but he bowled very quick and straight into middle stump, and then he'd just throw one up outside of the off stump that would turn a bit. Just canny bowler really.
Right.
Handy.
It's well taken by the keeper.
T20 is a very different game to a 50 over in Railway though, so I think this may not suit him as much.
What was the type? What was the pitch like? Was it slow?
It was very slow.
Very slow.
Yeah, like they refer to it as a patch down there because it's notoriously quite slow and low, up and down.
That's well played by Mobeen for the quick single.
Great running.
Mobeen hasn't batted for a while, and I think that's why you see a lot of dots with him currently.
Yeah, but once he gets into the swing of things, he's got fantastic power, especially down the ground, so I wouldn't be too worried about that.
So tell me, you were, as you mentioned, you were in Leinster yesterday. How are you doing in Leinster?
Yeah, we're adapting. We haven't had the start to the season we'd want to have, but we have a very young side. You know, yesterday we had every single player in the team was under the age of 21, besides one lad, Shivan, who unfortunately broke his thumb today, or so we think. But yeah, no, we're adapting. It'll come. We're bowling very well at the moment. We're feeling quite well. Obviously kept Railway to 130 odd yesterday, but you know, we just need to score a few runs. Yeah. And I think T20s like this today, getting people, you know, some time at the crease, scoring a few runs and kind of loosening up a bit with the bat really helps us. So I think maybe we'll bring this form into Leinster hopefully. Great job.
That's pulled away by Joyce into Cow. And a boundary. Welcome boundary there for Cork Harlequins. Dips the run rate down just under 7, which is manageable. That Leinster League is quite incredible. It's like no one wants to take charge of it. It seems everyone is beating everyone else, and by wide margins. I mean, Cork County won by 200 odd runs yesterday.
Madness.
In Up and Rush, which is a pretty small ground. North Kildare, who've been hammering a lot of teams, were all out for 100 against North County, who were hammered the week before by by Terranur.
Madness.
This is strange.
There seems to be a bit of a theme.
And a lovely cut shot there. Beautiful. One of the shots of the day by Joyce. Fantastic shot.
The league in Leinster anyway seems to have a lot of lads, a lot of teams with 3-4 batsmen, and then once you get them early, you're really into the tail. So you know there can be up and down results just because if their informed batsmen are falling early for nothing, then you can really capitalise on that.
So that's the end of the power play. 43 for 2. I think Harlequins have wrestled the advantage back to them. And there's a change of the bowler, which I shall find out who it is. So Sinan is coming on to bowl. Don't be eating all my sweets there. Thanks very much.
Great choice.
Don't be pushing them away from me. Pushing them away from you. You can't beat Haribo Supermix.
Really can't.
I need the sugar to keep going.
There's going to be some cramping tonight, I think.
It's such a warm day up here, and it's a joy because normally Cork Harlequins will be known for being cold, wet, cold, and cold.
Cold, yeah. Pretty much sums it up. Really nice head like cricket, to be fair.
So, change of bowler, Mohammed Sinan comes on. Lovely looking action this lad has.
Lovely. I'd say one thing is that we wouldn't mind the extra pace on this pitch. You know, anything with a bit of
whereas Ilif was bowling, took pace off and actually got a bit of success with his bowling.
Absolutely. So even if you look at our team, people like Sendon Jones bowling cutters had a lot of success. A lot of runs out to third man, fine leg, fine point.
And there's an appeal for LBW. We can have a look at that again. There's
Third leg looks fair.
yeah. So obviously this broadcast is brought to you by the Munster Cricket Union in association with Club Sportscast. Umpire Archie calls that a wide. And next week we'll be up here again with the Premier League action as the 50 over red ball cricket comes back. Cork Harlequins versus Cork County. On the 30th of July we shall be at Middleton Cricket Club for the Junior Cup final. That's lofted in the air by Mubin Ali. It may not go all the way, but it does. The ball beats Ilith. Beautiful shot. That moves Mubin up to 15 off 17 balls. He started quite slowly. And he was quite lucky with that edge. Should have been taken by the keeper.
To be honest, Joe, I wasn't there for it.
Okay, you were...
Dossing off in the changing room.
Proper captain you are.
Yeah.
Better looking ball there.
That's the length on this pitch, really.
So, as I mentioned, we'll be live streaming the Junior Cup final that's going to be held at Middleton on the 30th. On the 31st, then we're up to Lismore Cricket Ground for the Minor Cup final. The quarterfinals, which are being played today. I think I can give you some scores here. I'll come back to the scores in a second. That's it. Another good ball there. So, up in Croker's Oval, Cork Harlequins posted 230 for 9, with Mike Higgins top scoring with 41. Limerick Blasters CC, their second 11, are 84 for 2 off 20.
That'll be a good game.
Swing and a miss there by Mubin Ali. And that's the end of the over. Cork Harlequins are 48 for 2 off 7. Just above with the run rate. Elsewhere, Waterford posted 236 in Lisrona against Clonmel. We don't have an update for the start of the other innings from Clonmel. And Limerick, who were playing in Adair, were 14 for none off 3.4 when the live stream stopped. But hopefully we'll get an update later on. And we've no news from down the farm where Limerick were taking on UCC in the other Premier T20 match today. That's well hit there by Joyce.
Fantastic shot.
Beautiful shot. Up over the field for 4 runs. Allen continues from the clubhouse end.
This outfield's rapid.
It is, although we were saying earlier on that because of the heat, the grass does tend to grow.
Yeah.
You can see that with the amount of daisies that there were no daisies this morning. Now they've all decided to pop up. So the ball does tend to slow down. And we were noticing that while the ball was being guys were chasing towards the hedge, that it was visibly slowing down, where earlier on it wouldn't have. So good start to this over for Joyce.
Really good.
Pushes that down leg for a single.
Really smart cricket that. Hitting the boundary, following it off with a single.
He moves to 22. This pair now have a partnership of 39. And in fairness, it's all about partnerships in T20, Matt.
Absolutely. These kind of chases can be difficult if you're losing wickets at regular intervals. Even if you look at us last game, we were really able to capitalise when we had 2 set men at the crease. You know, if you have 2 new lads at the crease, it's really difficult to launch when you get the opportunity to. It's also really important to have an anchor at the crease, like Mubin's doing right now.
Yeah.
Kind of leaving Ryan to play his shots while he's there at the other end to support him.
That's well struck. That could be out. Oh, and it bounces over the fielder into the hedge for 4 runs.
Just as I said it.
I think they may have to go into the house to reach that, or stick their head through the hedge. I think. He didn't even hit that very hard, did he?
Not at all. It just shows how hard the outfield is, really, doesn't it? Miss hits are going for 4 if you hit them into the right areas. It's about being smart at Quins as well. There's pockets in the ground that lads who have played there for a long time know about, you know. Hitting over extra cover and stuff tends to run quite quickly because there's a little bit of a slope to the boundary. Obviously a short hit in the leg side. Just being a bit smart with the batting, you know. If you're going to take something on, going to the right area rather than looking to take on the long boundaries like there is out the deep point at the moment. You know, if you hit straight down the ground, it tends to run. If you hit over extra cover, it tends to run.
So Shiv was talking to me earlier about how young the team is, and you're a young captain. How are you finding captaincy? I think this is your 2nd year.
Yes, it is my 2nd year. Last year was a great year. We were winning lots of games. I mean, look, it's definitely tough at times, but it's fantastic. You know, we have a young side, but we have a really
Youth. The one thing I noticed is that there's good spirit between you all. That you're all roughly around the same age.
Absolutely, it's great crack. Like we have great crack when we play cricket, you know. And generally, when you're winning, it's more crack. But I think you really know how tight knit a group is when you're going up to Dublin and losing a few games in a row and stuff. And we've still kept everything really tight knit in the group. Everyone's really encouraging. Everyone's excited to play cricket the weekends.
They found the ball. And quickly, what challenges do you have as captain? What's the hardest part you find about captaincy?
I think it's keeping everyone happy. You know, because in our team we have a lot of all-rounders. You know,
Right.
Senan Jones bats 7, bowls, Kruger bowls, Adam bowls, they all bat. I bowl, I bat. You know, we have a lot of all-rounders. So it's just difficult keeping everyone happy, you know.
Managing the egos, I think the word
think
you're looking for.
To be honest, we haven't got many egos. That's the good thing about having a lot of young lads. You know, when you have young lads, you know, they just want to play cricket.
Yeah. I think, yeah.
Pulling the lad out of the bush.
He's just... It reminds me of that Simpsons one where Homer comes out of the bush.
Exactly like that, actually.
The Simpsons.
Anything for an extra spare ball.
Yeah. I think these white balls are in hot demand this season. There seems to be a short supply of them.
Oh, there really is, sure. Up until this year we played with pink ball, so it's kind of hard to get a few spares. We had a few out of the nets the other week.
That's a good point there, actually, touching on the types of balls. In T20, what do you prefer now that you've played with the pink and the white?
White, definitely. Especially from a batting point of view. It feels it comes off the back quite well.
Nothing to do with the visual, the visual colour of it?
I'm not that good of a player to worry about the visual colour of it, to be quite honest with you, Joe.
Fair enough.
Great single.
It's well taken by Ali.
It's really important we keep it ticking over like that. Really good from the lads. Good experience from Mubin. I think it's important we use the white balls as well, just because whatever team gets the All-Ireland semis and finals are going to be using white anyway. Last year we were using pinks up until the All-Ireland semi, and it took a bit of adapting, you know.
Yeah. I think he kind of did quite well in that All-Ireland semi-final. Well defended by Joyce there to end the over. 58 for 2 off 8 overs. Are you happy with the progress so far after 8 overs?
This is perfect, really. We're right where we want to be. We have 2 lads who are in, 2 experienced lads who played a lot of cricket. Now it's just getting over the line, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hopefully these lads can spend a bit more time at the middle and really knock it off. Now we have the brunt of the chase done.
We just touched on there about the white balls. Would you prefer to play with a white ball, say league cricket, considering National Cup and Irish Senior Cup are played with coloured clothing and white ball?
Yeah, look, it's a tough one. The one thing I would say is that the white balls don't swing for very long. So if you do go white ball, then it kind of takes a lot of seamers out of the game. You're only going to swing it for 6 or 7 overs.
But what I don't get is that Ireland really technically don't play red ball cricket.
Yeah.
And all emphasis is being put on the T20s and say one day stuff. So why are we, as a union or all around Ireland, playing red ball cricket for leagues and not white ball?
Sure. Look, it's a difficult one, really. But I personally, I think the red ball's good.
And that's edged just for the single.
I just think it makes the game more challenging. Grounds like Quins that are quite small and fast running, if you have a white ball and it's the 30th over and you have a partnership, it's going to be pretty difficult to bowl.
Yeah.
Whereas the red ball was going to swing throughout the game.
So would you suggest that, if when coloured clothing, white ball in league, would you need a ball from each end?
Yes, that's a very good point. The one thing I would say is that
that's well struck there.
That's a
by Joyce.
Shot.
That might go all the way. Oh, another beautiful shot. Beautiful boundary.
Is a good idea.
But if we can't get balls in Ireland, then
That's a good point,
we're
yeah.
snookered. We've come full circle. We'll go pink ball.
At least the pink swings a bit longer than the white.
Right.
I don't know if our clubs have enough money to be buying 2 balls a game. 5 teams.
I think Munster might need to get a sponsor in. So if you do want to sponsor balls in Munster, contact the Munster Cricket Union.
Great plug, Joe.
Thank you. That's not well struck by Ryan, but he may not. Oh, there's a chance for a run out here. Bit of a mix-up between the 2 batsmen. I think Ryan was trying to drive that down the ground. Ryan was trying to guide that down to the 3rd man. Dot ball. 5 off this over so far, 2 balls remaining. Cork Harlequins are 63 for 2. Galway bowling quite well. And he drops the ball. Just as we saw that as a dead ball, talk us through you kicking the stumps over. What happened there? What actually happened? Because I thought that would have been a no ball.
No, well, to be quite honest, Joe, I don't know the rules, but I hit the stumps with my hand, but I didn't drop the ball, so apparently that's a dead ball. Whereas if I had dropped the ball, it would have been a no ball.
Oh,
don't
right.
really know why.
That's interesting. That's an inside edge there. Joyce is quite lucky to get away with that. Simon bowling very well now. Galway need a breakthrough. Partnership of 49. The other strange one today was the umpire giving a no ball to a bowler starting his spell, but he had not told the umpire what his action was. I'd never come across that before. We're having it all today. And wide ball, appeal from the bowler, but he had actually risen his arms to give a wide himself. So the umpire duly obliged and copied him. The wide ball there.
He also appealed before the wide was given.
Yeah.
So that must be assuming that it was pretty tight.
And Joyce hits that hard. It could be out. Is it caught? Yes, it is. A roar from the Galway players. It was well struck, but well fielded and a good catch. Breaks the partnership. It was on 50. Cork Harlequins are now 64 for 3. That was a bit unfortunate.
Yeah, it was there. Just didn't get it all. But we have a lot of batting to come, so I wouldn't be too worried. Good innings by Ryan. Really broke the back of the chase, and now Kruger, who's just fresh off 70 odd, is going to come in and face up. So we're not too unhappy. Great innings by Ryan though.
64 for 3 off 9. The current run rate is at 7. Required run rate is 6.73. So very manageable at the moment. What was notable in that Limerick game was there were 1 or 2 overs that, especially in the back end, I think Adam went for 3 in 1 over. And that kind of broke Limerick as a whole because it forced them to try and hit boundary balls and sixes, and they were getting caught. When is the best time to bring on spinners in your opinion?
Look, it can vary depending on conditions. On a pitch like today, where it's obviously quite a decent pitch, and small ground, fast outfield, it's good to get the spinners on when you can put 5 out. I think, given the protection. And
as a captain, then, are you worried in the power play? I think you bowled Adam, who went for a few. Are you worried that they'll be hit over the top from any boundaries? That's a wide ball.
Not at all. Look, we played a lot of T20 cricket in the last few seasons, and Adam has bowled so many overs in the power play, and he's honestly been our best bowler up top.
That's sliced. That can go anywhere, but Ali gets away with it.
I think in the power play, it's all about being clear about your options, and Adam's very clear. He kind of does the same thing every game. And there's definitely room for spinners in the power play, because I think as an opening batsman, pace on the bat is what you want, and it can be tricky when someone's bowling slow into a slow Irish deck.
We saw that last week against Cork County, where they rotated their bowlers quite frequently. That's defended by Kruger. Good bowling here by Allen.
It's mad how many approaches there are at T20 cricket.
Kruger strikes that. More of a cut. Gets off the mark with a single. 3 off the over. 3 balls remaining. Ali should be the set batsman now. And he strikes that well, but is there a chance for a catch? Yes, and it is taken. An incredible catch there on the boundary in front of the clubhouse. And Ali has to go. I think it was the kiss of death there. I think it's that man, Mohammed Sayan, again, who took that catch. A good catch. Ali has to depart for 22. So 2 new batsmen at the crease now. Ryan's brother Devon joins Brandon Kruger. This partnership that they had a 91 partnership in the last game. Can they replicate this? It's a good over from Alan Joseph. Matthew has departed. Obviously to have a few words with his teammates. Thank you for joining us, Matthew. So Devon is on strike. 2 balls remaining in this over. And he lets that one go outside off. And again, he defends that. It's a good over by Allen. 3 off it with 1 wicket. So Matthew comes back to join us. Matt, were you having a word with your team?
Yeah, it was.
What were you saying? If you don't mind me asking.
No. I think it's just we're well within the rate here. We have the batting in the tank, and it's just about being smart with our.
So Kruger comes down the wicket. He did that a lot in the first innings, especially in the first few overs. I think it is. Why actually does he do that?
I think he'll know himself, but he's been playing kind of square lately off the back foot. I think it's just trying to force him to get forward, hit down the ground, because he's got serious power, you know.
Yeah.
So if he can back himself hitting the V, he can hit a big ball. So I think it's just trying to get his momentum going forward, just like that.
And a lovely shot down the ground just for a single. Gets him off strike. I'm absolutely roasting here. I'm like a lobster. One side of me, I have one of my legs is now red, raw, and the other one, despite having sun cream on me, I'm looking for any bit of shade, despite having a gazebo up. the sun's coming around and telling me he's going to get me. And that's well struck by Devon. They may think about going for 2, but Devon says no. Kruger taps the bat twice on the ground. 2 balls remaining in this over. There's a misfield out there. It might go all the way for a boundary, and it does. 4 runs for Kruger, his first boundary in this game.
Positive running there has got them that boundary. Looking to take a single to him, you know, he really has to worry about getting it in and throwing it to stumps rather than just doing the basic of stopping the ball. It's really good by the lads. These 2 run really well together as well.
Tries to follow that up with a single, but it's stopped by Tom Mahon. That's the end of the over, the end of the 11th over. 73 for 4. Oh, it's not. That's well bowled to finish off the over again by Allen. So we'll go again. After 11 overs, it's 73 for 4. Let's check in on how Ireland are doing. And New Zealand are 199 for 6, requiring another 101 for the win with 10 overs. remaining in the game up in Malahide. So Michael Bracewell is not out on 41, and Ish Sodi is not out on 17. Many names there I wouldn't have seen before.
Like they wouldn't have been playing for New Zealand, but they would have played a lot of county cricket
Like
around the
I
world.
knew about Finn Allen, all right. He played, I think, maybe I'm wrong, but Wellington the Firebirds, and I think he played 1 or 2 T20 internationals.
And he's playing for Lancs as well.
Is he?
There's a few of them now, like as in Glenn Phillips would have played a lot against Gloucestershire in the T20.
Right.
Finn Allen would too. There's a lot of lads nowadays where even if they're not playing international cricket, they're playing a lot of franchise stuff, so they'd be pretty experienced in the, in serious cricket.
Serious cricket. It is serious though, that match, because 10 valuable bonus points towards the World Cup are up on offer, and it's surprising Ireland seem to pick up points against the better teams.
Yeah.
Yet they couldn't get a point against the Netherlands, which is a shame. Or I don't think against Afghanistan.
Sums us up early, isn't it? Yeah, as long as we get there.
Yeah, more importantly. Just a single there. And the misfield leads to a boundary for Brandon Kruger, the skipper and bowler. Mitchell won't be happy with his fielder there. It is hot out there, and they're after a game already today, so there's bound to be a bit of tiredness in the field, Matt.
Yeah, there is, but that's the challenge, really. You have to really get yourself up for the second game, just because it is quite warm. But it's really important not to be sloppy in the field. Don't want to give away extra runs in T20. They all count.
Brandon Kruger follows up with a well-taken single. .79 for 4 off 13.3. There's a bit of dust now. The pitch is drying out a lot. And that's well hit again by Devon Joyce, and that'll be Tom Mahon out there in the deep for a welcome boundary.
That's a fantastic shot.
He hits it so well, out of the middle,
especially
of it.
through the covers, extra cover mid off. He's top class.
I believe Shivam will be batting later. What number is he going in?
It'll depend. I think we've quite a long batting lineup anyway, and he's obviously got a pretty sore thumb, I'd say. Is it broken, Shiv? He thinks it's broken. So I'd say
the question is, why are you batting if you have a broken thumb?
Yeah, I don't. To be honest, lads, I back the lads. With plenty of lads who can hit the ball. Really long batting lineup.
And Devon follows up that with a single. Out to cover again. And another misfield there. Kruger will come back for a second. .86 for 4 off 12. The required run rate has dropped now down to 6.5. A partnership of 19 building here between these two men. They scored 91 between them in the last game. So Kaiser comes on to bowl from the city end. And that's caught away by Joyce. Matt, have you faced this bowler before? Kaiser Mahmood.
Maybe I have. I'm not too sure, to be quite honest. Looks like he has a nice enough action.
Bit of a spinner.
Turn the ball away, leg spinner.
Yeah.
Looks like the lad's going over the covers.
It's bowled down leg. Dot ball there. Might have come off a bit of Kruger's pad. Bit of a long hop. And those are the types of balls that get wickets. Kruger was very fortunate that he didn't even make contact with that. And he takes a walk and have a little chat with himself.
I reckon it's a good thing he's missed that with a massive boundary.
Yeah.
Big hit. Big hit to clear that. Kruger can definitely hit a bit of a bomb.
That one is much bowled better. Just floated up over Kruger's eye line. And pushes that out for a single. So only 3 off this over so far. 2 balls remaining. A little bit flatter that time. The fielders stop that in the nick of time for Dot. That's well defended by Joyce. And that's a very good over for Galway. Only 3 comes off it. Kazur must be very happy with that. That's well stopped there. Mitchell continues from the pavilion end. That's beaten the fielder. Good attempt by the fielder there. Could have been a couple. Kruger will have to settle for 1.
He looks like a whippet there at extra cover.
Bit like Joyce. Joyce was very good there during the Galway innings. That's well floated. And Devin Joyce just strokes that, splits the fielders. Beautiful cover drive. 4 runs.
It just shows proper cricket shots are how you score runs on this wicket. They'll be rewarded. We don't need to panic. We need to just hit the sweepers hard and put the bad balls away.
So 5 off this over so far. 3 balls remaining. Sun is high in the sky. Ball's gone into the car park, so they're looking for the ball again. It's now been retrieved. Come back to the bowler. I don't know what to say about that shot, skipper.
Great cricket all around there.
That's floated up and just driven down the ground. Should be a single, and it is a single. Encouragement being given from the sidelines towards the both batsmen. And that's a big wide. Down leg. Sorry, down off.
That should be 2 wides.
I was lucky it wasn't a no ball. And a better ball there. Must have skimmed the wide lines. Ended the over. 96 for 4 off 14. 6 overs remaining. 42 balls. 42 runs required. Are we starting to get nervous there, Matt?
Not at all. These two lads knock it around there. They both played a lot of cricket. We know that if we just hit the sweepers hard, put the bad balls away, we'll knock this off pretty easy. It's just about being smart. Yeah,
and that's beaten the fielder for a single. The batsmen are happy to just knock the ball around currently.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't think they have to do much more.
Kruger actually waits for that one. Doesn't push it. He turns looking for 2, but Joyce tells him no. 98 for 4 off 14.2. And that's hit straight back. There was an opportunity there for the bowler to take a catch, and it would have been a stunning catch. Joyce gets away with it. The shadows are beginning to lengthen here at Farmers Cross. It's been a great day of cricket.
Fantastic venue.
Kruger advances down the track. Dot ball. 99 for 4. And that's well bowled by Kizar for a dot.
Plenty of time, Krugs, lad. Plenty of time. Good, Kruger. Really good, Krugs.
Strokes that.
That's what we need, boys.
Just for a single. And that's the 100 up of 15 overs. Big 5 overs to go now. 38 off 30 balls. Required run rate has increased now to 7.6 as drinks are being taken. It is a warm, warm day out there. Looks like there's a change in the bowling. So change the bowler there. Ram Gokul comes on to bowl. And Kruger strikes that beautifully. It may beat the fielder, and it does. for a boundary ball. Message might have gone out to the batsman just to be aware of the run rate.
It's a fantastic shot. It's just being smart, really. You know, there's no risk in that. Just hitting it right or to the left of.
The use of his hands there. He didn't need to use a lot of power, and he guides that down. But there's a man there.
It's really easy at this kind of stage of the innings to look to go too aerial. But when you're playing on a ground that's running nicely, you can just play good cricket shots and hit the gaps.
Yeah. But Galway will be looking to force them to hit into the air as Kruger takes a single to bring Devon Joyce on strike. Five off this over so far. Joyce goes aerial again, and that goes all the way. 6 runs. Is this the over that they'll start motoring, Matthew?
I mean, it's up to them, really. I think it's a personal thing. We know that the rate is in our favour, and it's just knowing that when there's a bowler you fancy targeting, committing and hitting strong shots. Obviously, Devon looks like he fancies this lad right now, so just needs to back himself.
And we'll have a look here. It might be a leg bye, but it's not. It's given that it came off the bat.
Inside edge, I think.
Yeah. 112 for 4. 1 ball remaining in this over. Kruger waits for it. They won't run on the misfield. That finishes off with a dot ball. So 4 overs remaining. Matthew's going to leave the commentary box to join his teammates. Thank you, Matthew. We'll talk to him later on, maybe.
Cheers, Joe.
Then Kizzer now will continue from the city end. That's a bit of a full toss. That's heaped out towards Cow, and they'll come back for... and there's a misfield. So it's a boundary ball to start Kizzer's third over. 116 for 4. Cork Harlequins now require 22 off 23. Run rate has dropped down to 5.74. And they've gone searching for the ball. It's gone into the bushes at by the driveway. Big thank you to everybody who's joined us today for the 2 matches. I hope you all enjoyed it. This may go down to the wire yet. As the table stands so far, Cork Harlequins, should they win this game, will top the table, with Cork County coming in second place. If they lose, Cork County will top the table, as they have more bonus points than everyone else. Joyce digs that out, but it's well fielded there at mid-off. So no doubt all the Cork County faithful will be hoping for a Galway win. Kizar bowling very full now. Might be... Joyce defends that. That's cut away. No one there to take a catch. They'll take the single. 5 off this over. 1 ball remaining. Kaiser has bowled very well, very economically, only 4.2 off his 3 overs so far, as Kruger advances down the wicket and takes the single and will be on strike for the next over. So that's the end of the over. 118 for 4 off 17. 20 runs required off 18 balls with 6 wickets in hand. So just over a run a ball here. And Alan will come back on. And starts off well with a dot ball. Pressure starting now to come on these two batsmen. They really need a boundary every over from here on in. And Kruger just touches that ball for a single. 119 for 4. Brings Joyce on strike. And that's well struck again. That'll be cut off by the fielder. Joyce will have to be happy with a single. Partnership now of 53. Kruger on 24. Devon Joyce on 28. It's a valuable partnership for Cork Harlequins. It's good bowling there by Allen. A dot ball. Only 2 off it. Run rate starting to climb a little bit. 7.71. Kruger calls for 2. Joyce will say no. The fielder sprinted in from Cow. It is good bowling here from Allen. And that's hit hard. That may go all the way for 6, but it's not. It's a boundary ball. We spoke about needing that Cork Harlequins needed boundaries in every over from now on. It's now 13 runs off 12 balls with 6 wickets in hand. Ryan Joyce comes out to give a new pair of gloves to his brother, or one glove. And I believe there are a few folks from South Africa who have joined us today, watching on the live stream. So a big shout out to Steve and Katya in South Africa. Your boys are doing well. That's the message that has been passed on here. They're doing okay. And the other message was, thank you for the sunshine. We're all loving it in Ireland. So we're still looking for the ball here. Oh, and they found it. They found some other ball, I think. That could be a couple of years old. Hard as a rock. No matter what. The white balls have been in short supply this summer. The pandemic messed up all the shipping routes. And Kizar will come on to bowl his final over. 2 overs remaining. 13 runs required off 12 balls. Kruger's on strike here. Big over coming up. And Kruger calls for 2, but he'll have to settle for a single. He hits that away. That's in the air. Could that be caught? And it's caught. Crucial wicket at this time of the match. So well played by Devin Joyce. And Senan Jones comes to the crease. So the batsman had crossed. Kruger hits that into the deep. They're looking for 2. Tom Mahon with a huge throw, throws it back into the bowler, and they'll get 2. 10 off 9 balls now required. Kruger hits it down past the bowler. Well fielded again. And Jones will face his first ball. 2 balls remaining in the over. Won't have time to take a few balls. He'll have to try and get off strike and get Kruger back on. And Jones, first ball, slices it. And he is caught. So we have a twist here. That's, again, Sinan, who's taken the catch. He's been very good all day. I think he's taken about 4 catches today. And Kieran O'Reilly comes to the crease. So the keeper talks to the 2 umpires whether they had crossed. The Kruger had come down to talk to his batsman. They all thought that he had come down to try and steal the strike, but he hadn't. So Kieran O'Reilly comes to the crease. A bit of pressure now on Cork Harlequins. 9 runs required off 7 balls. Is there going to be a twist in the league in the last over of the last game? $129 for 6 off 18.5 overs. Cork Harlequins are chasing 137. Shivam did say that it was a good score that Galway did get, and it's turned out to be that. And O'Reilly happy to take the single. That's the end of the over. And it's all come down to this. Cork Harlequins need 8 off 6 balls, 4 wickets in hand. So it's Sinan who will be bowling the last over. I've been told that I've been 1 run out. So it's 9 required off this last over. Nine required. There won't be a super over or an oopsie. And a full toss, low full toss to start off the over. O'Reilly gets off strike, brings Kruger down. Cork Harlequins will be happy that he's on strike now. Pretty tense around the ground now. Most players are standing up, walking back and forward. Brandon Kruger waits for Sinan's ball. He's bowled that very, very well. It's just a dot ball. Full. Sinan needs to bowl pretty straight here now. And Kruger edges that. That'll go all the way for a welcomed boundary. 4 off 3 balls required now. Remember, it's 138 for 9 that Galway got, not 137. That's on the board. Cork Harlequins are 135 for 6. 3 balls remaining. 4 off 3 balls. 3 ones will be a draw. There will have to be calculations. If there's a tie, the Munster Cricket Union will have to work out the scores and let everyone know later on. Brandon Kruger is taking his time here. Checking that all is well with him. And Sinan runs up. Kruger edges that one again. It won't go to the boundary this time because they've brought cover for it, for the bowler. 3 off 2. It's almost a net situation here. It's been a fantastic game no matter what. There's a lot on the line here. And there's a false start by the bowler. I think he was thinking of mancadding Kruger, but also trying to put off O'Reilly. He'll start from his run up again from his mark. And there's a shout for an LBW. There's a shout for an LBW. So here we go. 2 runs off 1 ball required. Everything's on the line here. All percentages will be done after this game. They're not currently up to date, as a couple of games have finished. Still don't know the result down in the UCC match versus Galway. Might have a bearing if Cork Harlequins lose. 1 for the draw and 2 for a win. That's the scenario here for Cork Harlequins. Galway will be looking for the win. That puts them into the mix at the end of the day. But more than likely, if Cork Harlequins lose, and it's hit there by Kruger, it may be, and it's a draw. It's a tie. It's a tie. It's a tie. The teams split the points. We will now have to go and calculate them. So I'm going to stay on live here currently, and I'll get the laptop out. I have another laptop, and I shall, as I do the MCU fixtures, I shall be back to you in about 5-10 minutes. So a nervous wait for all teams down in the Mardyke, up here in Farmers Cross, and 5-10 minutes. Thank you. So I've just rebooted the laptop. So it'll be another few minutes there. I had to reboot the laptop, so apologies for all this. So we have an eventual winner. Cork Harlequins played 5, won 2, drew 1, points 50, bonus points 3, total 53 points with a percentage of 71. Cork County played 5, won 2 with 40 points, 13 bonus points with 53 in total. So they're both equally the same. But as the rules go, if they both end up on the same amount of bonus or points or percentage, the next thing is head-to-head. And as a consequence of Cork Harlequins beating Cork County last week, Cork Harlequins go through to the All-Ireland T20 semi-final. So congratulations to them. It's been a wonderful day up in Cork Harlequins, up in Farmers Cross. That was an amazing game to end the leagues. Just want to thank everybody involved here to help with the broadcast, and to everyone who waited patiently at home. I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you next week again. And thank you very much. My name is Joseph O'Mahony, and it's been a pleasure being here today, and have a great evening.